Our next guest is born and bred in Manchester. He's taken no shortcuts in life, building multiple businesses from the bottom, from property and plumbing to terrace coat clothing. He's a full-time father and an overtime football follower. You can catch him on the Big Six, rattling cages, shouting, "We've won 4 in a row." You love to argue with him, but you absolutely adore him. Ladies and gentlemen, from Stockport to the Santiago Bernabeu, we know where we need to be. It's Big Steve.
Yes, what an intro. I'm absolutely buzzing.
Pleasure,
with that.
brother. Welcome to Branching Out, man.
I'm good.
It's good to have you on, man.
Yeah, I'm good. I never thought I was going to get the invite. I didn't think I was, big enough. But now
You're
I'm
Big
here.
Steve. Box office
I'm
Big
here
Steve.
now, so I'm buzzing, yeah, man.
How are you, man? You good, yeah?
Yeah, I'm very well, yeah. Football-wise, I'm not so good, you know what I mean? I'm usually top of the table and very arrogant and confident and that. So this season's been a little bit of a step back, but I'm all right.
Yeah. First question, have you won the treble?
Like Phil and Gary Neville. Yeah, 100%. We've won it. I'm 4 in a row.
Yeah. That's it. Get the line in.
Yeah. Upsets a few people that have done it, but you've got, I've waited a long time to say that.
So, brother, we haven't got the photo physically here with us, but for show and tell us what you were going to bring with you today.
I was going to bring a picture of me and TYSON FURY. And not a lot of people know that I'm a big boxing fan. And obviously to meet Tyson, to go to his house, spend a bit of time with him, get a picture. I was a little bit cheeky when I was in his house. I said, any chance you can get the belts out? And he went and got the belts for me, the WBC and the Ring magazine belt. So for me as a young lad from Manchester to be stood with the heavyweight champion of the world in his house, wearing my clothing brand, holding the WBC and Ring belt, it is quite a special picture. So no, it was a really good thing. It's one of the first times in my life I've ever been a little bit starstruck.
Yeah.
Because TYSON FURY, love him or hate him, he has this aura around him where you walk in a room and you're automatically drawn to him, the size of him, you know what I mean? When you look at the picture, you'll see the size of his fist.
Size of your head?
Yeah, people call my head big, yeah, but his fist is like half the size of my head, so you can imagine it. But yeah, it was a pleasure to meet him, and like you say, I've done a bit of business with him over the years, and I've been in his company quite a few times, and he's a good guy, man.
Yeah. That's mad, isn't it? Like,
Mad.
To find yourself in a situation where you're in TYSON FURY's house, just like chilling with him.
I've had breakfast with him. The kids were there, splattering tomatoes all over each other and doing all that, but didn't blink an eyelid.
Yeah.
His wife was like, "Steve, can you take him to the house because we need to go Asda for shopping and that." It was like a bit of a mad moment. I felt like I was in his Netflix documentary.
It's all normalised, but it's not normal at all.
No,
Yeah.
and I went to his house and stuff, and he was such a great guy. You know, I was just starting a clothing brand. I had an opportunity. He could have demanded like a lot of money off me.
Yeah.
But what he did is he was very clever. He took me for coffee first. He spoke about my business and where I was from. He knew a few people I knew. He knew at the boxing gym I used to go to, etc. Then he said, "Leave it with me." And then he must have just weighed it up in his mind. And then when I went away, he made a call back and said, "Listen, if you come to my house Monday morning, bring me X amount of money. I'll do it for you. I like what you're saying. I feel like you're a good, genuine person. You didn't try to bullshit me."
Yeah.
And listen, I started a clothing brand and I got the heavyweight champion of the world wearing it. So, yeah, it was good.
That's mad. Well, let's dial it all the way back to early 80s, early 90s, Manchester. Big Steve is little Steve.
Yeah.
Talk to me about your early childhood. I know you've got one brother, isn't it? Are you the older one?
I'm
or
the older
younger?
brother, yeah.
You're the older brother? Okay, so talk to me about like what it was like growing up in the 80s and the early 90s in Manchester, because it's far away from the way times are now.
Yeah. No, it was brilliant. We had a good upbringing. We didn't have loads of money, you know what I mean? We lived on the estate with everyone else, but you just feel like life was a lot simpler then, you know? School was good, playing football every day. It always seemed to be sunny. And I always have memories of sunshine. And even though I lived in Manchester, it probably rained every day, but I always remember the sunny times. We used to be mad for football. Like, one big thing for me nowadays, which really hurts me, is as I drive around in the car and I don't see kids playing football. And I was like, we were mad for it. We'd use anything for a goal post. If there was a lamp post next to someone's sort of half drive, that'd be a net. It might be off skew, but that was a net.
Yeah.
You know, a couple of curbs that were misshapen, they were nets. getting the ball trapped under cars.
Yeah.
Neighbours going, what are you doing? And we're skidding under the car, getting our legs and pulling it, coming home full of oil and that.
Did you ever hit someone's window?
All the time. All the time. Bad shooting, man. Bad shooting. And then, I found that the neighbours and that were tolerant of it.
Yeah.
They were like, the kids. I feel like now the neighbours are mad. You know what I mean? You hit someone's window, now someone's coming out and chasing you with a bat or something. You know what I mean? Like, whereas we were just like, you had the odd neighbour, you didn't bother and stuff. But no, it was really good. The school life was good. And obviously Manchester was dominated by 2 football teams. But at the time, Manchester City was not a great side. Manchester United were
Man United,
the biggest. You know what I mean? They were winning everything, and there was a lot more United shirts about and stuff. So I found myself at a crossroads in football in life. Do a swerve over to the left, to the red side where all my pals was, or do a stand with this merry band of brothers and on the blue side. And I found myself on the blue side.
The red devil and the blue angel on each shoulder.
That's what it was.
Is that basically what it is?
Yeah. Well, the story of it, my dad's a big City fan. He's obviously going to the games with his mates and stuff, and he's not wanting me hanging about 6 years old. I'm football mad. Like you say, bouncing balls off windows and that. My mum's getting people on the door. He's hit my window. He's hit the car and all that. And then obviously all the lads on my street were Reds. So they're all having the United kits and all that. I never had no football kit because I just love football. Didn't really understand it as such, you know.
As a tribal thing, yeah.
And then my mum threatened my dad and said, if you don't take him to the football, then I'll get him a United shirt and I'll get the neighbours to take him to the football.
Ooh.
So on the Wednesday night, I'd come home from school. Remember it like mad. You go into the game. I'm like, what game? Manchester City Main Road. So excited. Like, I remember being so excited. Ran upstairs, got ready, come down, going with my dad. But I remember like people say, oh, you know, you see these videos of kids going up into the stadium and they see the pitch and that. I was like that. Parked on Claremont School. I remember the hot dog carts, the little hot dog carts, one-man band hot dog carts, big queues, everyone queuing up getting hot dogs. Like, you wouldn't eat them now. They were
Was it on a wheelbarrow?
Man. Yeah, and they were just there like hot dogs. I was like, these are rough. And then they had a souvenir shop. Now, if you think of Manchester City now, it's a mega store. Yeah. This was a little tiny shop. It was one way in, one way out. It was one glass cabinet, and that was it. So you had the choice of about 4 badges, a wallet, a scarf, a hat, and that's it.
Yeah.
And my dad took me in. I remember getting me a scarf. I remember the woman pulling the drawer out and getting it me and that. And then the badge. And then that was me. And I'm outside. There's loads of people everywhere. I've got a City scarf on and a badge. And I'm like, I'm buzzing because I'm spending quality time with my dad.
Yeah.
Because my dad was always working because he was like trying to build a business to be better for us.
What did he do for work?
He owned his dad owned a builder's merchant, so they sold sand, cement, bricks, stone, and my granddad he had 2 sides of it. He had one side which was like DIY, and his daughters worked in there, and he had a building merchant which was heavy building stuff where his sons worked in there. So my dad worked for him. So eventually my dad bought my granddad out and they owned that thing. But he was so busy trying to do that. So spending quality time with your dad was great. And like you say, I remember going in the ground, I seen the pitch, I remember the Kippax, it was massive, 25,000 all standing. I remember them all singing. I remember everyone knowing everyone's name. Like,
the players.
Go on, John. Yeah, go on, thinking. And I was thinking as a kid, I'm thinking, they must know him. Like, I didn't know.
They must be mates.
Yeah. And then my dad bought me a program, which I'd never seen a program, which obviously, and I remember just coming home and I was so like excited. I had this program and I got home, the scarf I took off, put it near my bed, the badge. And I was like, and I just knew then from that day that was it for me.
Yeah.
Bouncing to school, telling everyone about everything and what you're doing that. And then my dad must have seen it in me and thought, you know what? He's into it now. Yeah. So I'll take him. Then I remember started getting the replica shirts. They used to come in boxes, Umbro boxes with a little see-through bit on the front. And then I got the home kit, got the away kit. And then that was me. I was a City fan, and then I was hooked. And then that was it. I was if I couldn't go to the game, I was distraught, you know.
So how old were you when this was taking place? Like, you now finding your love for City? Oh, 6,
7. Yeah.
Okay.
And then I was at Main Road every week with my dad. My dad used to stay up in the stand and get a pie and a programme and a pint. I used to run down to the main stand where the players came out the tunnel. Yeah. And I'd hang over the tunnel. And I got so many great autographs from back in the day of great players. John Barnes, Ian Rush, Alan Shearer, Dennis Bergkamp, Glenn
so you were
Helder.
hooked.
Yeah, they used to come out the tunnel and sign, and
you were
sign. I used to get there quite early, so a lot of the players would come into Main Road. Then they'd have a walk on the pitch before the fans got in. But we would have all the kids at the front, so there'd only be like 4 or 5 kids.
Okay.
But when I look back through my program collection now, I've got some fantastic autographs that I think I can't even remember getting them. Vinnie Jones, you know, people like that, and who is a Hollywood actor now.
Yeah.
You know, but I got him playing for Wimbledon. You know, so it was stuff like that. But that was my ritual, and every weekend, like I say, I loved it.
And so at that age, are you playing Sunday League, or are you, because you're playing football, you're kicking down, you know, people's cars, windows and whatnot. Yeah. Are you trying to become a footballer yourself? Are you playing like for a team? What position are you playing, if so?
Yeah, I played for a team called Collyhurst and Moston. It's a famous boxing club.
Okay.
So Lyndon Arthur, Zelfa Barrett, Pat Barrett was a world champion out of there. Robin Reed. They all went to Collyhurst and Moston. Collyhurst and Moston was run by a guy called Brian Hughes, who, God rest his soul, he's dead now. But he created this club, so they had football and boxing. They all used to play in red and gold, which is more in Manchester United colours, because it was Collyhurst was more of a red area. But we used to play football for there. I used to play for them. I wasn't an excellent player. I was a good player. And, you know, I just enjoyed football for what it was. I knew I was never going to be a footballer.
There's a clip going around of Luke stitched you up on socials recently.
He stitched me up. But my actual football career was finished at 23. So I broke my ankle playing 5-a-side on Power League. I snapped my fibula and tibia. It was completely the opposite way around. So I've gone in for a challenge. It snapped, and I remember I'm on the floor and I picked my leg up like that, and it was just gone. It was flopping the other way around. My mates come, don't look at it. Done that. I did 12 months of physio on that. Got myself back, no problem. Went out on a night out. Came out a pub. I'd had a few pints, and it was raining, and my ankle slipped, snap, bang, gone again. So I've done 12-month physio, and then gone again. So I'm laying on the floor. I'm like, my leg's gone again. I had plates in one side. Now I've got plates in the other side. Then that's when I knew it was a mess. Anyway, played again. When I come back,
you couldn't stop playing.
No. But then I'm a centre back.
Yeah.
I put a bit of timber on. So you know what it's like in football. As you put the weight on, you move further back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You start off as a striker.
And so does the defensive line as well. My manager wants to play a high press. You're like, no.
He's
We're
Steve,
playing.
You're playing them all on side. I'm like, listen, I'm a sweeper. I'm ahead of me time. I'm a sweeper. Really? I couldn't be arsed running.
Facts.
But you know what I mean? So, and then I broke it again underneath the plate, and I thought, it's not for me.
Yeah.
So now my ankle is mashed. So
it's just metal everywhere.
It's metal, yeah, it's metal. So I left that. I was playing Sunday League at the time and stuff. I left that, and that was in the end at 23. But as a kid, like I say, we played for Collyhurst and Moston. They used to teach us about discipline and stuff like that. You know, if you didn't turn up at training or you was late, you wouldn't play. If you give any of the coaches lip, you wouldn't play. Yeah. Then you did have the boxing side of it as well. Whereas I remember Brian Hughes used to say, if you're messing around, I'll bring some of the boxers down. And we used to be like, I don't want the boxers. The boxing lads will come down. They're all bent noses and that, and they're all running and stuff. Really rough gym, yeah?
Yeah.
But it was a good little place to live. They used to look after the community. Pat Barrett was our fighter. He fought for the world title at the GMEX, man in Galloway. But Brian Hughes made sure all the kids in the club went. So I remember in the early years, we got to see a world title fight in Manchester. We were all sat in our Collyhurst and Moston things.
Real proud,
proper screaming and that. Yeah. And even, and I'll never forget this, even after the fight, obviously Pat got beat off Manning Galloway, an American fighter. He must have been pissed. Yeah. But Brian brought all the kids in the dressing room to see him.
Oh, nice.
After the fight. And I thought, you won't get that now.
No.
Kids, it's like, last thing I want to do, I've lost a world title, speak to the kids.
Yeah.
That's why I've always got respect for Pat Barrett for doing that, you know. But no, we had great times around there. Like you say, there was not a lot going on. Yeah. You know, you had your rough kids and you had your good kids. But
where did you fall in that?
I was a good kid.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was a good kid. I just loved football. Yeah. Manchester City football. I had my close group of little pals. And
was you gobby? Because obviously now when people see you on shows, they'll be like, he's got a smart few things to say. So when he wants to, do you know what I mean?
I think I could be pretty smart with my mouth.
Yeah.
But I was clever enough to know who to say it to.
Right.
I ain't saying it to the wrong person. I ain't getting clipped. You know what I mean? But I used to, Yeah, my mates would probably say, yeah, he was gobby, yeah.
What kind of older brother would you say you were? Because what's the age gap? And I guess who does your younger brother support actually as well?
2 years, don't like football.
Oh, he doesn't love football at all?
No.
That surprises me.
My brother don't like football at all. He can't stand it.
So you took all of the love for football in your family
He's
and
not
left him
got
with nothing.
one interest in football in his life.
Did you try to get him into it?
Yeah, oh yeah. I remember once saying, "Oh yeah, pick a team and do it," and yeah, I'm going to support it, but he wasn't into it.
Yeah,
he wasn't asked about it. My brother's a singer, so he can sing, he can play the piano, he can play musician, he can do any instrument you want, he can play it. So the musical side of it went to him.
Well, you grew up in the Beatles era as well, wasn't it? Obviously,
Beatles, Oasis,
yeah.
Everything. Oasis era. It was mad. But with him, he just didn't like it. Like all the kids on the street would be playing football. Yeah, I can't ever remember my brother kicking a ball.
Really?
No.
My younger brothers, both of them are like that as well. Like it's almost like it irks them to even go near the thought of the idea of playing. Like they won't just casually just kick the ball with us. Like it will be like I'm not even going near it. Like I'm like, what's your beef with this football? Just play casually.
And as a brother, I always looked after my brother.
Yeah.
We went to an all boys school, so he followed me. He followed me behind me. So I took the hard licks and had to sort of make my own way in the school so that his path was
easier.
Yeah. He had me, and then a year below me was my cousin, who he's one of my best friends now. And so me and him sort of cleared the path. So by the time he arrived, it was like, oh, you're Lummy's brother, or you're Al's cousin. Yeah. And then he had an easier ride than us, you know. But
any issues, you guys will sort it out.
Yeah, they knew who he was. Like, I mean, and then our school was wild, mate.
Talk to me about it, because you went to an all-boys school. I went to an all-boys school.
Wild.
The level of testosterone in there. I mean, what we're talking early 90s, we're talking mid 90s. Talk to me about it.
It was just a wild place. Like, I just remember you'd got different lads from all across Manchester. You've got different races and things like that. Yeah. But when you've come from a primary school where you're all dead friendly and everyone knows each other, and all of a sudden you're slammed in this melting pot of madness, I was like, wow, this is mad. But the level of football banter just got raised like tenfold. You know what I mean? This is that you're on it here, and this is where I think you learn to sink or swim. I didn't really like school. I didn't like it. I just didn't like it. If it was playing football or PE and stuff, we used to have inter-house competitions when I first went to school. So every house that you all the lads were split into houses, and you had a different colour tie.
Yeah, same as me. Yeah.
And
so what were the house names actually?
It was
Do you remember?
Hay, Dalton, Scott, and Kleins.
Sounds like some Harry Potter shit to people that don't know.
Kleins were green. Hay was red.
Yeah.
Scott was yellow. Dalton was blue. I'm in Hay and red. So instantly I don't like it. I've got a red tie on. It's not for me. You know.
Can I ask actually, before you get more, you know the tie?
Yeah.
Was it like a proper, the proper tie where you got to tie it, or was it a clip-on?
No, it was a proper one.
Did anybody ever like peanut you in school?
Oh, well, my knot in my tie, if you had a big knot, it was a swat. You got a swat knot.
Yes.
Yeah? You had the tiniest knot in the world that nobody could undo. You was the man.
Oh, so, was it?
Yeah, we had like people that would do it and pull it that tight. Yeah. And not be tiny. But the problem is, it was like a noose. You could only sort of get it round your head and squeeze it down and that. But then if a teacher pulled you and go, sort your tie out.
Yeah.
You can't do it. Do you know what I mean?
Blazer, I'm guessing everything, yeah? The whole 9 yards.
Yeah, blazer. But then we had, and used to be 2 buildings, Chain Bar, Moss House, and a big path in between. And then you might have a lesson here in Moss House, then your next lesson might be in Chain Bar, vice versa. So the crossing of the battlefield, in the morning, it was literally like Game of Thrones. It was like the North v the South. So you'd cross and someone would slap someone down the back of the head with a ruler, or someone's bad could get slashed, and then the whole thing would go up. The teachers were like, wow. But we used to have this inter-house competition, so you'd represent your house and at the end of every month they'd have a leaderboard, and then you go right to, but every point counts. So you'd play basketball, rugby, football. We even boxed you boxing, Sabutio.
What the heck is that?
The football game that you flick.
Okay.
Sabutio.
Yeah.
So we had everything, and we won it. Hey, and then after that they abolished it and just it got rid of it. Like hundreds of years of history just gone. But I enjoyed it so much. Like we won it.
Yeah.
I remember winning it and stuff. And
That's where the competitiveness is. Yeah, it's strong.
And the problem is as well, I say this now, when you go to an all-boys school, I feel like as a lad, you struggle a little bit with relationships because I've seen so many lads that they've never, from an early age, had that where, oh, I'm in a class, I really like that girl. She doesn't like me. Disappointed, but you get over it.
Yeah.
I like that girl. She's my girlfriend. Oh, my mate's got a grip of her at weekend. Oh, shit. I've felt that disappointment. So you go through so many emotions in a mixed school because you mix with girls and stuff like that. With lads, it's just like, we're lads.
Let's fight.
Yeah, let's fight. And that's it. And I just feel like you come out of it a certain way. But I over the years, looking back at some of the lads, and I've spoke to them about it before, and I think, they definitely didn't offer us any relationship advice in them schools. Do you know what I mean?
Going through puberty in an all-boys school is crazy,
mental,
bro. It's mental.
It's mental. It's like, I remember we were going through the Oasis era, yeah?
Yeah.
So some of my pals had full-on beards.
Yeah.
And mad Oasis wigs with sideboards. And there's me with my little blonde mushroom cut, trying my best to get a bit of a tash, but I've got like blonde hair. And it's all over like that. And I must have looked a state. But I was trying my hardest to fit in, you know what I mean? I remember my mate, he was like a bloke, yeah?
Yeah.
He just evolved, like, they're all lads, so you see different lads, and some of them are like men, aren't they?
Yeah, yeah.
And it was it was madness, man. It was madness, but it was okay. I just didn't like it.
What do you not like about it? Yeah.
I don't know. I probably just didn't like lessons, maths. If I was interested in it, I'd do it. I used to like art. I used to draw. I liked art. I liked PE. If I liked the teacher, if the teacher was a City fan.
Yeah.
And my maths teacher, for years I hated maths. Then I got a maths teacher, Mr. Kuchai. I've seen him at the match now, a lovely fellow. City fan.
Yeah.
And then I'm walking over broken glass for him then.
Yeah.
Because he treated me with a bit of respect, but he had a little bit of banter with me about the football. So I had a bit of respect for him. But anyone that I couldn't be arsed with, I wasn't arsed with it.
I feel like at that age, because I had a similar thing with my maths teacher, Mr. Joseph. He used to we used to stay behind because it was GCSEs and we'd have to do extra time to catch up and try and get the grade. But he would order us pizza and he just made it when you build up that relationship with a teacher at that age, you will run through brick walls for them and you start getting grades that you didn't even think that was even possible. But it's more about whether you give a crap, not really necessarily down to anything else. But yeah, it's that time period is just crazy, isn't it? Looking back on it, what was your maddest experience in like an all boys school where you were like?
Well, we had somebody broke into the science labs and nicked a load of mad chemicals, and it was like a box with some chemical in it. So then I remember going in the toilets. There was a massive square toilet, and someone's going, "Lummy, get on this," and he's gone, woof, volleyed this thing to me, and I've gone, ding, took it on my chest, flicked it to someone else. He's headed it, flicked it back. We're all doing this remember the old Brazil advert at the airport? And we're all like, hey, I'm a hey, give me like that. But it was shit, yeah? But there's smoke coming out of this thing and powder, yeah? Wow, next minute, we're all coughing. It's some mad dangerous chemical, yeah? Next minute, the school's shut down, yeah? We're all in isolation in the thing, yeah? These all, ambulance people putting things on us and that. And it was bromine. And it's something that they used to put in the army to stop blokes getting, full of testosterone and all that. So it's some mad chemical. Anyway, it was on the news. We were all in hospital. We're all in beds next to each other. Hey, we're not in school tomorrow. Yay! And all that. We didn't know. We probably could have died or something. Yeah. But yeah, there used to be some wild shit going on in that school, mate. Yeah. Wild. The kids were just wild. Do you know what I mean? I remember people off the street just walking in a lesson and just attacking someone. And I'm like, who's that? And it's like, oh, it's somebody's brother. I said something to him. He's rang his brother and all that. And then he's come in and all that. But it was crazy school. Yeah. Just crazy, yeah. Used to be, and then there was a rival school down the road called St. Matthew's that was mixed. Yeah. And it'd be like, tonight we're having it on the field with them, we're having it. And it'd be a big battle, hundreds of kids chasing, and we'd be chasing them over one field. They'd come and chase them. It was carnage, man. But you know what? There's never no malicious in it. It was just kids being kids.
Literally, yeah.
We got to the cup final of Manchester Boys Cup final. North Manchester Boys, us, and we're in the final. And we beat Whalley Range in the semis. And we got back to school and we're having a shower. And there was a bakery on the corner. And we've come out the shower and we've gone in the bakery and a few lads have got a sausage roll or whatever they're having. their coach has gone past and we're all there like, you know, way. and then everyone's gone, way. And some people have thrown bricks at it, right? So they've bricked the windows, yeah? So the coach has got off Monday morning in assembly.
Yeah.
The headmasters come in. I just want to say that at weekend, the North Manchester boys Year 6 team got to the final of the County Cup. Way! Way! But unfortunately, they threw bricks at the coach and they've been disqualified, and that's it. And we're all like, oh, we've let ourselves down again.
As we always do.
Yeah, we've let ourselves down again. And it was like, that was the story of the school. There was always one knobhead to do something.
And you were kind of like in the middle. You could be tempted into knobheadery.
Yeah, 100%.
But at the same time, you wouldn't cross a line which would get you maybe
Sometimes I was uncle, I could be that knobhead.
Okay.
But when I was in school, I was pretty all right. But yeah, I just remember thinking, nah.
What was because obviously you're a father now, and we'll get into that later. But what was like discipline like in those days in terms of like maybe from your parents, were they quite strict, or teachers? Are we talking like chalkboards and rulers on wrists and stuff? What are we talking?
No, it was chalkboards and that, but the teachers couldn't touch you. But yeah, used to poke you and that.
Okay.
I remember being like,
because you can't do that now.
No, and they'd poke you, and you remember thinking, that's a bit like, ow.
Intrusive.
Yeah, but used to get lines. Do you ever get lines?
Yeah. Just repeating the same. Bart Simpson at the start of the.
So they had this one called Mr. Blackwood, and he'd any of the lads that had a bit of sideboards, he'd pinch your sideboard and say, "Come here," or you get poked, and then he'd do a lines, and it'd say like, "Me, Mr. Stephen Lum, should never, ever, constitutionally," and he'd make loads of mad words up, do it, and you'd be like, because you're trying to fit them on a line, and then underneath, we used to like, if a word began with C, you just do loads of C's all the way down the page, and then loads of U, mad. And but so we used to have teachers like that who used to be, but we were literally the Wild West.
Yeah,
the whole school was wild, and no one could control us. We went through teachers like No Tomorrow.
Supply teachers used to probably just ran out the class.
It was a North Manchester school full of lads, and nobody give a shit.
Let's get into your teenage years, because what age did you say have your first pint? What was the culture like with that at the beginning for you?
We used to drink on the streets.
Okay, probably
like 14, 15. We'd float around the shops, and we'd say to someone, "Any chance you can get us 4 cans of Kestrel or something?" And like most of them would be like, "No." But then you'd get the odd one that would do it for you.
Yeah.
And then you'd get a few beers, and you'd shoot off into the park, and you'd have a few cans, and you'd pretend you're drunker than you are. And you're all falling all over and all that, you're doing that. And but it was safe then. There was already us pissing about in the park, and then we'd get home, and then you'd walk in, and your dad would be like, "Stephen," and you'd be like, "What?" And he'd be like, "Come here." And I'm like, "I'm just going to bed." "No, come here." And then you'd stick your head through the door, your big red beetroot head, your bulbs are hanging out your head because you're pissed, and you're like, "What?" And he's like, "Have you been drinking?" I'm like, No. And then he'd be like, I never overstepped the mark. We'd had a few drinks. Yeah. But there was a few times where I'd had too much to drink, and like my mate would take me home and say, "He's had a few."
Yeah.
And my dad would batter me, like, not physically batter me, but I'd get a slap, and then that'd be me in bed, or you taking the mick or whatever like that.
Yeah.
So it started early doors, but your mum and dad used to go out drinking a lot. So they'd go to the local pub at weekend. There's many a time if we needed anything, we'd have to go round to the pub and say, "Is my dad in there?"
Yeah.
And then the doorman would go in and get him, or someone would go and get him. "What do you want? We want some chippy or something?" And he'd give us some money.
Get a fiver,
chippy or something.
Yeah.
So, and that culture, was that's what it was about them days. You know what I mean? There was always a DJ on in the pub. There was always someone singing in the pub. So the pub game now is dead.
Yeah.
We'll drive around wherever you want to drive around. You're struggling to find a boozer on a Saturday night that's full.
Yeah.
But back in them days, it was hammered.
Yeah.
Everyone was local pub crawls. Everyone used to walk pub to pub, but everyone knew each other. But we were just the kids that all our mums and dads were the same. There'd be 20 kids out at weekend. We'd all be on the cans in the park, but all of our parents would be in the pub.
Yeah.
So we knew where they was. So everyone's house was free.
Yeah.
So we'd always have somewhere to go. We'd always have someone's spirit cupboard to raid. You know what I mean? We used to get someone's whiskey, tip it in like a little flask, and then we'd fill it up with tea.
Yeah.
And put it back. And by the time his dad thought, we'll have a whiskey, he'd be like, who's done that? And then he wouldn't have a clue. He's done it like
way too gone at that stage.
Yeah.
To
so we were streetwise kids.
Yeah,
We were streetwise kids, but we want nasty kids.
Yeah.
We were just innocent kids and that. And But no, they were the best times, the teenage ones. You got into lots of scrapes, rival gangs and estates as you get older and that.
Yeah.
One of your mates gets a car, so you're all hanging out of motors, flying around in cars and that, like you're just mad. But it's just part of growing up, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. So obviously at that point you're starting to get into having a few drinks here and there. You got your boys, like your city boys that you're going to the games with and whatnot. And like you said, you got blonde hair, right? So what's this looking like? Long hair, short hair?
No, just like I used to have
Just a little bit.
I used to have like
I can only imagine you bald, you know.
No, I used to have like a mushroom cut.
What?
Yeah,
What?
so
Super Mario Bros. What are we talking?
So it's just like a bowl. So it's like if you put a bowl on my head.
Have you got a picture of this?
I've got a picture. I'll send it.
Yeah, you got to send it. Yeah.
And you cut like that one with the Ultimate Warrior face paint on, like in the group the other week with the blonde hair. That's me with a little bowl cut. And then obviously I remember getting a little bit older, and then I started to style it a little bit. You know what I mean? Have a bit of gel on it and that, and spike it up at the front and that. And then I just thought I sack it and just whizzed it all off. And then I went bald from probably about 22, 23. I just shaved it all the time, even though what I did. And so that's why the bald thing has never bothered me, because I used to go bald anyway.
Yeah, that was a choice. It wasn't like forced into it.
Man. Yeah. Less maintenance.
Yeah, less money, less cost, less maintenance, less stress.
But in the I was talking about the teenage years at school. Obviously City were crap. United was winning everything. United won the Cup Winners' Cup, Mark Hughes, stuff like that. The United fans were signing Andy Cole, Dwight York. I remember United signed Andy Cole, obviously day before phones. I've come out of my lesson and I've turned right down the corridor and I seen a picture of Andy Cole, black and white, a United top on it, with his hand up like that. And he said, "Welcome King Cole." Yeah. I thought, what's this shit? But we didn't have phones. What's going on? And then I remember going outside, Andy Cole, Andy Cole. He gets the ball, he scores a goal. Andy Cole. All the United fans. Oh, no. And I'm like, what's going on? Then my mate went and signed Andy Cole. I went, fuck off.
And how'd you find this news out? Like,
because someone had told someone, and obviously the kids, it spread like wildfire. Yeah. But there was no phones to confirm it. And then one of the teachers went, we've heard it on the radio. United have signed Andy Cole, 7 million. Yeah. Big deal at the time.
Massive.
And I'm like, no way.
And we're a City right now. We're going down the leagues.
Yeah, we're shit. We're just.
Is this Oldham Athletic away?
Yeah, we're down there in the mixer. You know what I mean? Up and down like yo-yos. And it's like Andy Cole. I'm like, nah, that's mad. And it's just like, they used to just wind us up all the time. Every day in school, they had something on us, you know what I mean? Kenchelskis, United and stuff. But we had Georgie Kincladze. Yeah. You know, and I spoke about Kincladze, and he was the shining light for us Manchester City fans. We were like, you know, we had nothing but Georgie. And there was one time I wagged school, and I had to get to Moss Side, which is a mad place. Yeah. And I'd saved my dinner up a few days on the trot. And obviously I like my dinner. Yeah. You know what I mean? I'm a big lad. So for me to starve, you know what I mean? It was the early days of fasting. Yeah. So I had a 4-day fast to get the bus fare ready for Georgie Kincladze. Yeah. So I got a bus into Manchester, bus into Moss Side. There's a queue outside the shop. My mum and dad haven't got a clue where I am. I could be murdered. They don't know where I am. And
free spirit at this point.
Yeah, I'm queuing up in my uniform, and I could see people weighing me up like, what's he doing in his uniform? I should be in school. Yeah. I had a little backpack on. I had a poster in my backpack that I took out of Match magazine. And
I remember Match.
Kincladze, yeah. Got to near the front, and there's a sign, and it said, only items purchased in the shop can be signed. And I'm like, oh, God, I can see Kincladze's Ferrari, red Ferrari outside. I can see him sat at the table. I'm thinking, shit. Anyway, they had little postcards about this big, £3. But all I've got on me is £3. Fuck it. Yeah. Having it. Yeah. £3. Gets it. Gets him to sign it, shakes me hand. I didn't have any phones, so I couldn't get a picture with him out. Yeah. Signed it, kinky and all that, love you and all that, great. I'm like, right, how do I get back home? So I had to cry at the bus stop to the driver and tell him I'd been mugged. He let me on for free. Yeah, yeah. Got back to the next one, tried it on a couple of drivers, they weren't having it. Then one guy felt sorry for me, get on.
You ran out of tears.
Yeah. And then I got home, I remember skipping down the street, I'm looking at this picture thinking, wow.
This was worth it.
Signed picture of Georgie Kincladze.
Yeah.
Because them days, you couldn't get signed stuff off players. Yeah. And I got through the front door. My dad smacked me so hard on the back of the head, like, I swear to God. And he was like, where have you been? I was like, what do you mean? The school's been on the phone. You've not been in school. Me and your mum have been looking for you all day. I said, I've been to to Main Road. He went, Main Road? I went, what? I went, Georgie Kincladze. And I could tell deep down he's looking at me thinking, fair play. That's wicked. But in front of me mum, he's got to be like, what are you doing?
You're grounded.
Yeah. And then, I got walloped and that was me. But I've still got that picture.
It's like he sends you to your room. He's like, Stephen, you're grounded.
Yeah.
You had a great day, didn't you?
Yeah.
You're grounded,
Yeah,
Stephen.
yeah.
I'm really angry with you.
Like,
You're
I think
brilliant.
he respected the hustle of it. Like,
yeah.
thinking this kid.
He's going places.
Yeah, if he put as much effort into his work at school instead of dodging through Moss Side to get King Clancy's autograph, I said we'd have something here.
Yeah.
You know, but that was something that I remember doing. And nowadays I think, well, if my son disappeared and the school rang me and said he's not in, I now as a father, I'd be like, wow, where is he?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Obviously the world's a lot different, but going to Moss Side in them days could have ended bad. You know?
Really?
But unluckily it didn't. But yeah, I remember doing stuff like that and thinking, you know, wow. And then obviously we left school.
Yeah.
And looking for a job, I got an apprenticeship doing plumbing and heating with a local council.
Yeah.
It was crap money, but it was Man City every weekend. I didn't even care about work. It was just City.
Yeah.
As long as I had some money to go on my own to City, I wasn't asked. My dad ain't giving me any money at this point. He's like, anything you work for, you earn it yourself.
Yeah.
But this is when we started getting relegated. And that's when I started going to Main Road with my pals. That's when you start seeing all the lads wearing the Stone Island gear and all the older boys, and you're looking up at them and they've got a few quid wrapped around them and stuff, and you're floating about trying to make...
You're impressionable.
You're trying to make a fiver last all day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you're like, you know, and then every now and then you get pally with a few, and the odd lad would buy you a beer or something, and you think, oh, I've made it now and stuff like that. And that's when I found something I belonged to. So, I mean, in Manchester then, you had a lot of different paths you could have took. You could have gone to work and just done what you was doing. You could have gone down the drug path. You could have gone down the criminal path. I went down the football path, but I found myself in a pub every weekend with a load of lads from Manchester that loved the same football team as me. They all got different stories, different backgrounds, and I felt like I belonged to something.
Community.
Yeah, a community. But then what happened was, when we started going down, all of a sudden, we're a big fish in a small pond. So everyone's team who's playing Man City at weekend at Main Road was coming to Manchester for a jolly up. So what we were finding is groups of 50, 60, 70 lads turning up at Main Road taking the piss. So I remember the atmosphere, the older lads like, we're not having this. And then there was trouble every weekend. But obviously you're with them, so you're getting involved. And that's what happened.
Did you feel like you had a responsibility to almost get involved and stand your ground, out of pride?
Yeah, to defend your club. Because you just get attached with certain lads and stuff like that. And that's what happened to me. We started going every weekend and we're getting into little scrapes here and there. We're staying out in town a long time. I was always around a lot of drugs and drink. Drugs has never been my thing. I've always been scared of drugs. Yeah. I've seen too many people die and things happen with drugs that I've never been into it. But I was always been around it. But I used to get a drink, you know what I mean? I used to have a drink and get carried away and we'd get involved in all sorts. But in them lower leagues, it was mental. Like you go into an away game, Manchester City are coming to town.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're all getting off the train. There's a welcoming committee there for you. There's up to 100 young lads who live in Wigan or Rotherham who have been waiting for weeks for you to turn up.
Yeah.
So you get off the train and they've been watching Green Street or ID and they're pumped, and it was madness. It was just chaos. But at the time, as a young kid, I loved it. I loved the adrenaline of it and of the dodginess of like, right, I've got a fiver or a tenner in my pocket. How are we getting to Rotherham and back safe?
Did it feel like you was almost in your little own army?
Yeah, we were trying to jib the train. You know, if you jibbed the train, you saved yourself 3 or 4 quid. You know, if somebody could rob us a few beers out of a shop, they'd do that. And then we'd have a bit of a, you know, you get followed by people, there'd be scrapes and all that. I got my arse handed to me many a time.
Really?
Yeah, because I found myself in situations where we were outnumbered and like you couldn't run away because the lads wouldn't have it. You know what I mean? You wouldn't have you.
Was there a bit of peer pressure there, do you think?
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Because if you ran away, you'd never be able to go back with them again.
Oh, really?
Because that's your reputation gone.
Right.
So whether or not you liked it, you had... And don't get me wrong, it wasn't for everyone. We had many lads who you'd see one week, something had happened, you'd never see them again.
Right.
But then you'd see the same faces over and over who just loved it, you know? And I'm not saying I'm some super football hooligan. I'm not. Yeah, I'm just a young lad that loves Manchester City, and he's now getting into my teenage years, and I've got a choice. I either work on a Saturday or I go with this lot, and I was going with that lot. You know what I mean? and it was fantastic, like you say, you know. And it wasn't all about scrapping. We just had some great away days where you'd go to places and you'd win or you'd get beat, but then you'd find yourself in a nightclub in such a place, or you wouldn't come home, or you'd end up, you know, pulling a load of birds and go back to a party, and then you'd wake up on a sofa in Scunthorpe and think, shit, how am I getting home? So it was all
you had the Sunday to recover.
Yeah, it was
to get your life back together before the Monday.
On Monday, and then on Monday you go in work and tell everyone and be like, he's full of shit.
Yeah,
but that shit really happened. Do you know what I mean? And that's how it was.
Sorry, just to stop you. What was the craziest like away day in League Two for you? Because League Two is as bad as it got. You didn't go non-league, did you?
No.
God forbid.
So down there was loads of crazy games, but it was like it's just random ones,
incrementally.
Like Gillingham, and then you're like. You get into big scrap at Gillingham. In the Championship, we had Millwall. There was so much trouble between City and Millwall that they banned the Millwall fans from Main Road and the City fans from Millwall. But it was just... I remember going to Sheffield Wednesday, and that was in the Championship. And it seemed like we had like 20,000, and we were in nightclubs at the night time, and they were shutting the clubs down because there was too many people. The fire exit had opened, all the City fans had ran in, the lights came on. Football hooligans have infiltrated the night spot and that, and it was like we were all singing outside, and it just felt like we were taking a piss.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? But we were just there was not like the level of police and that there is now. You do anything like that now, you're banned.
Yeah,
but we didn't care.
Yeah,
we're Man City. We've been relegated. Our team's shit, but we love them.
Yeah, and
we're following them forevermore. You know what I mean? And we're taking over Macclesfield Town. There's more City fans there. Remember going to Oldham Athletic. We all met in a boozer. Someone knew someone from Oldham. They'd been calling it on because even though they're Oldham Athletic, they had quite a few tasty lads there.
Yeah.
And they were like, right, well, we're coming now. We'll meet you at such a pub. And I remember City all jumping off the coaches, and we just steamed this boozer, and everybody ran off. And there was just literally pints everywhere where everyone had got off. And we were all in their pub, and we were all singing City and that. And it was like a big result. We took your pub and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
And I remember coming out, one of the craziest ones I'd ever seen was Middlesbrough at Main Road. The game was still going on. 5 minutes towards the end, my mate had owed me some money, and he said, I'm getting off. I'll meet you at the Sherwood pub. So I left a bit early, and I ran up to the Sherwood pub, which was our pub.
Yeah.
And I'm only a kid, 16, 17. And I've gone in, and then all of a sudden I've stood on the steps because you could hear Main Road. It was across the road. I'm listening. And I seen this mob walking up the road. And I thought, okay, now is that our lads? Then all of a sudden, there was a guy at the front of this mob, yeah. He was about 25 stone Middlesbrough fan with a massive beard. Apparently he's a notorious geezer. So I've ran back in the pub, I've looked, there's probably 20 of us, yeah?
Yeah.
And I've gone, Middlesbrough's outside here. So the lad's gone, what do you mean? I went, they're outside. He went, they're out. He went, they won't come in here. I went, they're outside. We're all stood there with stools, yeah, waiting for this. The doors opened. At the front's this big monster.
Yeah.
He just picks a table up, like the Incredible Hulk. They've come in the pub. They've battered us all, yeah. It's like the Wild West, so everything's going. Then they've all piled out the pub and gone down the road. So by the time our lots come out the stadium, we're all lay on the floor, like, dazed. We've been hammered. And it's like, who's done that? It's like Middlesbrough. So everybody, it's a big commotion. But we knew they'd gone the legitimate route. The police had escorted them back to Manchester City Centre.
Yeah.
But we knew the shortcuts.
Right.
So we've come out, jibbed through all the side streets and got in front of them.
Yeah.
So then as they're walking down, singing, thinking they've got a result, we're all mobbed up in the pub called the Thirsty Scholar, which is under an arch. As they've come down, everyone's come out the arch. It's like some out of Green Street.
Yeah.
We've steamed into him, bit of a scrap and
Sneak
all that.
attack.
Yeah, and then they've had it. I remember that was a mad one. And the biggest, when I was a kid, the Chelsea game, when you relegated us, everyone invaded the pitch. I invaded the pitch.
Of course you did. You always invade pitches.
And I remember running around on the pitch, Hasselbank and everyone's on there. Everyone's running around past them and that. And but that day, Chelsea had the biggest mob of lads I'd ever seen in my life. There was no women, no kids. It was lads. I remember everyone said, oh, Chelsea's coming down the road. And we come out the pub and they all walked down. But they were like an army. It was like a well-drilled army. Yeah. And when we got in the stadium, when we're all running on the pitch, listen, 90% of all these hooligan stories you hear, it's a lot of bravado because you never get to have a scrap.
Really?
It's all about just like
showing face.
Yeah,
and
you see now lads bouncing one side and they're bouncing one side. There's an
it's a lot of
imaginary
shouting,
wall.
verbal
yeah,
abuse.
and they all look the part with the gear on, but nothing ever happens.
Nothing actually happens. Yeah.
We got on the pitch thinking, well, maybe get the game abandoned for the crack. And Chelsea just came to the front of the North stand, but they were shaped in a big L shape.
Yeah.
And I remember I'm on the pitch, and I'm looking, and I'm thinking, that's a like a Roman army sort of sort of formation there.
Yeah.
You ain't getting through that.
Yeah.
And I nicked the centre circle. So everyone's running around on the pitch to try to take the players off. I dug the centre circle out with my foot.
Oh,
and I ran
really
away
physically
with it.
take it?
I took it with me, yeah.
Wow.
So I had it in the stand. So the game carried on. And I remember walking back to the pub, and I had the centre circle of in my hand in
That's
the pub.
mad.
And I remember going home, and my missus...
Some memorabilia.
Well, the missus went, what's that in the kitchen? I went, what? She went, there's a big clump of grass in a baking tray. I said, leave that where it is. It's Main Road. It's the centre circle. So I was dead proud of myself, but it was fucking stupid. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was a madness thing. But Main Road would just had them where it was a rough ground full of like working class lads and like
you hear about it with everyone. Everyone's old, like Upton Park, Highbury. Everybody's older ground. Goodison, obviously now, like everybody's older ground had that sense of like real working class, like fans that are gonna be hostile and are gonna be, the atmosphere is gonna be on point. Whereas now, obviously, it's changed a lot, but there's a lot more money in the game.
Yeah,
you miss it. I assume you miss it back. Yeah,
I do because, but you know, there was a lot worse things for me to be doing as a kid than what I was doing. I'm not condoning any violence. I wouldn't do that. You know what I mean? But it was just, you know, you see podcasts with lads talking about things, and some lads are proper deep into it, and I know a lot of lads that are deep into it. But there's a certain aspects of like adrenaline rush that just gets you. Yeah. You know, when you're in it, you all of a sudden you with 20 or 30 lads who are all Mancunians. They all love Manchester City like you. You've legged it against a load of lads from Wigan. A load of pieheads have ran off. Yeah. And you think that's a great result. You all go back to the boozer and you all talk about it, and it's great, and and it's great. There's a dark side to it. Oh, surely there is. But I just got sucked into that. I was a young, impressionable lad, and for me, Manchester City was everything. And I just thought, I'm on this journey with this football club. Let's go. Yeah. And all them away games, I loved it. Rotherham, Grimsby. I've spoke about Macclesfield, Gillingham, Wrexham away on Boxing Day, Stoke away on a Tuesday night. They were all great for me. Yeah. I thought that was proper football. You know what I mean? And I loved it, and I wouldn't change any of that for the world. And what we've got going on now at City, I could never imagine. You know what I mean? I used to stand and look at United as the pinnacle of everything you'd want to be. Yeah. You know, I didn't like the fan side of it, where they used to be like, you're all tourists, you're all glory hunters. We're the proper club in Manchester. We're the people and that. But the actual institution of Manchester United, with the training ground and the academy and winning the cups and that was always something that I looked across with envious eyes, you know? Yeah,
of course. So when did it start to go... Because you're kind of flirting with the alcohol, the kind of... the bar kind of takeovers and kind of friendly fire, we'll call it, in terms of the fighting. But when did it start to go really south for you, where it started to actually mess with your life and started to actually have a downward trajectory on your work and your, that side of things?
Yeah, it was probably around 98, 99, 2000, that millennium era. I got involved in a real big bar brawl in a nightclub in Manchester the night before Millennium, New Year's Eve. I got glassed and stabbed in the side of the head with a shot glass. So Jesus. My right ear got cut off. So it was
completely off.
It was hanging off.
Oh my God.
So it was a bad fight. It was something I'd walked into. It was nothing to do with me. What had happened is I'd gone to the bar to get a drink, and my friend had gone on the dance floor, and he jumped on a podium, and there was a girl stood on the podium dancing, and he pushed her off. Yeah. But she was with like loads of lads. So then I've walked back from the bar and walked right into a circle of lads that I hadn't known what's going on. Yeah. So I've given him a drink, and then the next minute, everything's gone. And then I just remember glasses smashing, things happening. And that happened to me. I remember the bouncer throwing me out of a side exit into a street. I remember holding my head, and it was bleeding. I had a few stitches and stuff. My eye, I've got a scar right through my eye there. That was dripping fast into my eye, so I couldn't see. Yeah. And some girls grabbed me and was like, oh my God, you're here, this, that, and the other. And they ended up putting me in a taxi, and they took me to the hospital. And I had to, because there was no staff, it was skeleton staff. Like, I had to get my ear stitched back on. and things like that. And
Did you feel the pain at the time?
Oh,
Was it just pure adrenaline?
Pure adrenaline at the time.
Yeah.
But the next day it was horrendous.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, I need to make a decision here who I'm knocking about with, because, you know, I can't be doing this. This is dangerous. I'm thinking I've nearly lost my eye. So I've got a scar right down here, and I'm thinking my ear's been stitched back on, and I'm thinking I need to sack it. You know what I mean? And I had some choices to make there, but you just didn't think of anything like that. You were just you just get carried away with the moment. Every weekend's the same: beer, football, you know. And like you say, but that was a bit of a wake up call, and I thought, you know what, I have to start knuckling down. But
because you said you nearly went to jail, right?
Yeah. So basically, Middlesbrough, the Middlesbrough game, the 8-1 game, we went to Sven Goran Eriksson was getting a sack.
Yeah.
So we knew that the players wasn't happy with this. The fans weren't happy with it. We'd gone to Middlesbrough, but it was like a reunion of all the old boys. So we had about 3 or 4 coaches. So everyone who was a bit mental was on these coaches.
Yeah.
So we gets to Middlesbrough. We getting beat 8-1. Yeah, we're not having that. So end of the game, Sven's trying to come to the away end to say goodbye. They won't let him. So it kicks off at the front of the stadium. So all the fans are fighting. We're ripping up seats. We're throwing them at them. They're throwing them at us. It's gone off.
Yeah.
I've ran on the pitch. It's
you love a
off.
pitch
I love the pitch
invasion.
invasion, yeah. So I've ran on the pitch, and, you know, the madness just went mad. And we come out of the ground. It's kicked off outside the ground. Everyone's scrapping there. We gets on our coaches. We go back to Manchester. United's won the league. We get off at a boozer. We passed a pub on the corners, full of United flags, everything. We just stop the thing. Everyone gets off the pub and just has it with them. Jeez. So it was carnage day.
Yeah.
And then 6 months later, I'm going on holiday to Cyprus, and I'm in the airport. My phone's going mad, and I'm like, "Hello, have you seen the paper? What do you mean? Get the Manchester Evening News." Gets the Evening News. Fans wanted him battle at the Riverside. Like 40 images.
And you're on there.
I'm on there.
That must have been...
Suspect N for knobhead. I'm on there. And I'm thinking, fuck. And I'm like, I'm with my missus and my son. And I'm like, no, was my son born then? No, she was pregnant. She might have been pregnant. Might have been just before Stanley was born. And I remember going away and I'm thinking, I was embarrassed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm looking, thinking, right, my dad's gone mad. My mum's gone mad. My nana and granddad have
They've all seen it, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm thinking, hold on. And then they have like Crime Stoppers numbers, so everyone's grassing you up.
Of course.
Everyone's grassing you up.
We had Crime Watch in London, BBC.
So I'm ringing my solicitor, and I'm saying, I'm in the airport now. He said, don't worry, I'll sort it out. Anyway, he rings me back. He says, when you come back, you got to hand yourself in at Middlesbrough police station. Come back off holiday, went and handed myself in, got arrested, got charged with it. Had to go to trial at Middlesbrough. There were 40 of us on trial. 38 of us got banning orders. 2 got jail. But that's the worst thing in the world that could have happened to me.
Did you feel like at the pit of your stomach when you seen your picture?
Oh, it was horrible. It was horrible. And then you don't know about the waiting to go to trial. And then people were saying, oh, you'll get off with it. They might not have the videos. When I seen the video, they've got me banged to rights, ripping out seats, getting involved in everything, outside the stadium, getting involved in everything, stand out like a sore thumb, you know what I mean? They banned me for 3 years from every football ground in the country. Whoa. And
so you next 3 years, you're done?
I'm done. So...
Wow. That must have been soul destroying for you, because it's had ripple effects on your family and your reputation, and then also you can't do what you love, which is going to games. Yeah,
well, so then it becomes real then.
Yeah.
So it's all right acting hard and going to the games and thinking you're one of the lads and that, which is cool. But now the thing I love the most is football, and it's always been about the football for me. Some lads go and they love the violence, the adrenaline, the drugs, they love all the banter and everything, and the football's the last thing on the mind. You know, I've always found that. I see certain lads who don't care. Fuck City, I'm not bothered. It's all about the camaraderie because they felt belonged to. With me, it wasn't. It was all about the football, but I just chose to watch it with this lot.
Yeah.
And when they banned me for 3 years, I was devastated. I was absolutely devastated. It's like I'd lost something. Do you know what I mean? Because football was my life. And people will look at this and say, okay, now how can you be so sad? Football's your life. But at the time, I had no kids and football was my life. You know what I mean? I didn't do drugs. I didn't do anything. I went to work to pay for my football.
Yeah.
I got banned. And then I remember going. I remember having to go to Butlins with my kids, with my son, and you had to hand your passport in at the police station on the night of the game, so that you wasn't out there.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm on holiday with my kids. I'm on holiday with my son that week, and they were like, "Well, you need to do it." So I had to break my holiday while all the family are going out to the disco to go and sign in at the police station in Somerset because I was embarrassed, mate.
Yeah.
I was embarrassed, and I was like, it was like a turning point in my life where I thought, you know what? But I didn't take it well at first. I started to drink heavily, go out, self-destruct, never took drugs, just went out angry, couldn't watch the game. So all of us that were banned in the first few games of the season, when we were banned the next season, we all decided to meet up in a town centre away from City to watch the game together.
And that's where the alcohol...
Yeah. And then, but everyone was angry. We're
of
all
course,
banned.
yeah. Because you feel like you're outcasts at that point.
Yeah.
Everyone's
going
going,
city centre.
and you're just in this little city
And
centre
it
here.
broke my heart. It broke my heart. European trips that I missed, things like that. And then what happened was, following on from that, I got into an altercation at a work party for Christmas. Somebody had said something to my dad, and I was bladdered, and the whole thing kicked off, and I got arrested. And I woke up in a police cell, and I had blood all over me, and I was like, "Fuck,
What's
on
happened?"
here?
Yeah, you didn't even know.
And they came in. They said, "You know what you did last night?" No. We're going to tell you what you did last night. You did this, you did that, you did this. Someone was assaulted. You've done that. You behaved like this. I was like, fuck, I'm not saying anything here because I don't know what I've done. Didn't say anything. Came out. Remember phoning my dad. He said, I'm not picking you up. You're a disgrace. My mum, you're not speaking to you. My missus. I remember coming home. I was so embarrassed. Like, so embarrassed. And then I thought, I've got a problem. Because I used to just like snap. Do you know what I mean?
Was it anger?
Alcohol and anger mixed together.
Because some people, when they drink alcohol, they get more
angry.
giggly, more laughable, or they...
I didn't. I got very
You
depressed.
got angry. Oh, depressed, okay.
So everything that was going wrong in my life would come to the surface.
Right.
So, and then fueled with beer, I had no patience for no one.
Yeah.
And then I was on trial at the Crown Court, and my solicitor said, you're going to jail. 100% you're going to jail. You're on a football banning order for violence. And what you've done to that guy, there was 4 guys, and basically it was just like a whirlwind. What you've done to them in a public hotel, in a Christmas do, you're going to jail. So I remember the morning of the going to trial, they tell you to bring a little bag with you if you think you're going down. And I transferred all my money over to my missus, told her not to come and see me in jail. I'm not built for jail. I don't want to go to jail. Yeah. I'm a nice guy. I don't want to be sat there with smackheads and knobheads. It's not me.
Yeah.
But I thought, you've been a dickhead. You're going to get what your medicine. That's it. But so before the trial, I'd been to the doctors and told him about what had happened and said, look, I've got this problem. When I drink alcohol, I'm getting myself angry in this situation. So they sent me to this. He gave me this number to ring, and it was a nunnery for nuns, a convent. But the nuns listen to your problems. And this woman said, come down on 6 o'clock on Tuesday night and you can speak to someone about your problems. 6 o'clock on Tuesday night, I've pulled up outside, I've walked down, load of smackheads there. It's a soup kitchen. Yeah. I'm fucking going in there. Yeah. Not going in there.
You didn't think your problem was...
not going in there.
Like theirs, yeah.
Walked across the road, McDonald's, sat inside, had a coffee. I looked at a picture of my son and I thought...
I'm going in there.
I've got to go in there.
Yeah.
So I went in. I was uncomfortable. Don't bear in mind, I'm a young kid. I'm full of testosterone. There's nothing wrong with me. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with me. That's how in my head I thought. Yeah. Anyway, started to see this woman one-on-one. And she broke it all down into such an easy way of viewing life that it just shocked me. So by the time I got to court, I knew that what my problem was, and it was alcohol. And I knew that what I needed to do. And when I got to court, I never forget it. I didn't want any of my family in the court because I don't want to see my mum and dad send me to jail. Yeah. So I don't want to see my missus send me to jail. Yeah. I don't want her bringing my son to jail.
Of course.
So I've got some very good friends, City fans, who are high up solicitors who represented me, got me the best barrister from London. They came down, looked after me. And it was a woman judge. And she come out and she put the thing on the screen.
CCTV and all the footage and everything.
And oh God, it was so cringe.
Really?
Oh, it's horrible.
Embarrassment again, just watching it back.
Feel sick.
Yeah.
Now thinking about it, right?
Really?
And I was sat there, and one of my closest pals come with me, and I looked at the floor because I was ashamed. Yeah. I looked up at him, and he'd never seen it, and he looked at me and he went,
It's not looking
could
good.
tell by his face.
Yeah.
The police had already requested a custodial sentence, saying I was a danger to the public and this, that, and the other. Anyway, I got character references of people I knew and things like that. And the judge, she gave me a suspended sentence. They put me on a tag for 6 months. They gave me 280 hours community service, and she put me under her jurisdiction. And she said, when alcohol and football are involved, you behave like an animal. You're a disgrace. And she said, but when you're not, you're a family man, you're a businessman, and everyone can't fault you. And she said, I suggest you go away and look at your life and realise which path you need to go down. So I took that as that was my let off from, I'm not religious, but I prayed for a bit of a chance. I got it. And then I thought, right, I need to stop this now, because I'm hurting everybody I love. I'm a joke. I'm not a good person to be around and stuff like that. And it was a funny story. I was doing my community service. They had me building walls in churches.
Yeah.
So at weekends for 2 years, yeah, my weekends are gone. I'm building walls in churches,
No
just
city.
keeping my head down. No city, just that's me.
Yeah.
But I respected it, and that was me. And then they had a big family wedding booked in Santorini, but it had been booked for ages. My parole officer said to me, "You'll be fine. You go to court. You've not missed a day of your community service. They'll take your tag off. You go on holiday. You come back. They put the tag on." I said, "Brilliant." Gone shopping in that day. Gone to the court. Walked in. Waiting there in the dock. The judge who was going to send me down has come out.
Yeah.
She went, Steve. And yeah. She went, you remember me? I said, yeah. She said, can you honestly stand there now, genuinely look me in the eye and tell me you shouldn't be in jail? I went, no. She went, well, get out of my sight and don't ever ask me, can you go on holiday again? I went, right, all right. And I fucked off out the door. And I thought, you know what? I respect it.
Yeah,
because I was taking the piss.
Yeah.
I am taking the piss. And I thought, you know what? And I come out, I remember my missus' face, she had all these holiday bags, and she was like,
no.
are we sorted? I went, no, you are. I'm at home, got me in at 9.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and that was
still
it.
got the tag.
But you know what? I don't know that judge's name, but I respect it.
Yeah.
And then that changed my life then. And then from then I thought, you know what? That's me. I'm done with it. I'm not going down that road. I need to grow up. All my younger childhood, getting to a teenager, never been in trouble with no one.
Yeah.
From early 20s to 30s, lunatic.
So this is like a 10-year period,
Yeah,
would you say?
lunatic. Got worse as you got older. You know, people say, oh, you get older, you mellow. I got worse.
Yeah.
And then it was like, right, I need to sort my life out and stuff. And that's when I started knuckling down at work, and I set up my own business. I worked for my dad for years in the builders merchants. I used to drive the wagons for him, drive the crane wagons. I'd drive the stacker truck. I'd do everything. You know what I mean? It was a family business. And then one day I decided I wanted to go on my own. I wanted to try it myself.
Yeah.
So I broke away from him and started my own business up on my own. I needed to feel the pressure.
Responsibility,
yes,
yeah.
I needed it.
Yeah.
I needed to know that if I don't go to work on a Monday morning, I'm not getting my wages and my family ain't getting fed.
There's no complacency then.
No.
There's no like,
No.
oh, I'll just take the piss this day, or I'll not come in.
And I
I'll
took
phone
the
in
piss,
sync
mate.
or whatever.
I took
Yeah.
the piss.
Yeah.
You know, my dad put up with a lot from me.
Yeah.
You know, I rang my dad one morning, Monday morning from Tenerife. I'm supposed to be in work.
What time are we talking in the morning? 11?
Like early doors.
Oh,
and
like...
he's like, stop taking the piss. We've got deliveries on. I said, I'm in Tenerife. See, my best friend was Michael Gomez.
Yeah.
Michael Gomez was world champion boxer from Manchester.
Yeah.
He's got a book out called Gomez. Read it. It's the most chaotic, wildest story of a man you'll ever see. The guy was mental.
Really?
And I was fully
entrenched
in this journey. So I've got a world champion boxer, my best friend, with more money than sense. And you've got me, who's a fucking lunatic, who's ready to go for a pint at any moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anywhere in the world. So Thursday night.
At the drop of a hat.
Manchester, Piccadilly 21 nightclub, having a piss next to each other, Shall we go Tenerife?
Yes.
I've got no dough. I've got plenty of dough. I've got no passport. We'll go and get it. Let's go. We go, get me passport, sneak out the door, go to Tenerife. Get back. My missus has left me, took the dog, took everything. Even took the Sky card out the Sky card. I couldn't watch the football.
Oh, the Sky card
Took
out of the
card
box.
out of the box, mate.
Fuck.
I thought, you know what you like, aren't you? You come home, you're a bit rough. I don't need a woman anyway in my life. I've got Sky.
And you've got a son at this point?
No, this was before my son.
Right, okay.
This was before my son. But this was in the mad stages, you know what I mean? Coming up to all this. So the violent where I nearly got sent down, this was at the end of this chapter. But there was a whole new chapter before that where I'd gone on this journey with my mate who was world champion boxer where we'd literally, it was just chaos, mate.
It feels like at this point in your life, before we get to almost, I guess, your missus leaving you, it's just literally just like fucking, you know when you go to hospital and you see those fucking...
Oh, it's up and down.
It's just fucking madness.
It was mad.
You're just involved in everything and anything. Like your days must have been packed with just pure nonsense, like pure tomfoolery, as they say.
But a lot of the time, I'd be going to work in the morning with my dad, rough. But then as soon as work finished, I could have ended up anywhere.
Really?
Yeah, because my mate's getting invited to movie premieres. He's getting invited to, parties. I remember going to the Coronation Street Christmas party. I'm steaming, going up to all these celebrities going, yo, Dev, do you still got the corner shop? Yo, didn't you get dinner? You did. And they're thinking, who the hell is this helmet here in our Christmas do? But we didn't give a shit. We were a load of scallies and that.
Yeah.
And I remember that me and my mate, he was a boxer and there was me. We used to go out at weekend, get into all sorts of shit. Nobody knew us. The second my mate became British champion and famous, we were in every celebrity bar in Manchester. We knew all the doormen. We were in the Press Club. It's a famous club in Manchester. But he was a loose cannon. So he used to get himself involved in madness and I used to clean it up by calming all the situation down.
Yeah.
So I still go out in Manchester now and I'll bump into old school doormen and they'll go, how are you doing, Steve? All right. I go, yeah. And they go, fucking, I remember them days with Gomez. I go, yeah. I go, it was mental. But he was mental. You know, he killed someone outside a nightclub.
Really?
So inside the nightclub, somebody grabbed his hat and took it.
Just set him off.
Outside the nightclub, there was a fight. The guy had gone to swing for him. He's a professional boxer. He's moved and he's knocked him out with a slap, but he's hit his head on the curb and died.
Fuck.
So this is the madness that's going on.
Yeah.
But this guy never learned off that.
Yeah.
He just went wilder and wilder. He's an Irish traveller.
Yeah.
So if you give an Irish traveller a load of money, what are you going to get?
Yeah.
Madness.
I mean, we saw Conor McGregor, how much money he got and what happened after that Mayweather fight. His life went
honestly, I
kaput.
urge people out there, if they've never heard of Michael Gomez, to read it. He had the world at his feet and he lost a lot of it. And then Frank Warren, the promoter, he'd had enough of him. So he said his contract was up. If Michael lost one more fight, his contract was up.
Yeah.
So they came to him one day and said, we've got you a fight. Scotland, Alex Arthur, Olympic champion, undefeated, in his backyard. So this promoter's thinking, throw him to him, he'll get knocked out, contract's done.
Yeah,
Fuck him off.
Yeah, that's what they wanted.
So Ricky Hatton's trainer, Billy Graham, the preacher man, lovely guy, legend. Michael had gone to him cap in hand and said, look, I've been a dickhead. Everyone in Manchester knows. I've got this fight against Alex Arthur. Can you train me?
Yeah.
So I remember Billy Graham pulling me to one side and he said, Steve, I'm going to train him. I went, but if he fucking goes out or steps out of line, you need to ring me.
Yeah.
One night, he's gone out. I'm sat there with a moral dilemma. Do I grass my mate up? What's best for his career?
Yeah.
So I made the call, Billy Graham. I said, Billy, he's out. I said, I've tried to tell him. I can't tell him. Leave it with me. Billy Graham's gone to the nightclub, got him out of there. Told him, you're finished, you're never coming in the gym. Anyway, long story short, he gets me back in the gym. He says to me, Steve, I need to send him to your house for 12 weeks, right?
Some sort of boot camp.
Yes. He said, I want him away from Manchester. He's allowed no phone. Kerry Kays, who's a big fitness guy, who used to train, he used to do supplements with the Incredible Hulk, Louis Fringo and that. He was on board. He gave my mum this sheet. This is what he's got to eat. This is how he's got to weigh. This is what he's got to do. So we've stuck Michael in the hills where I live.
Yeah.
And this training camp. We've got 2 lads out of the army to run with him every day. And every night we'd sit in the back room and we'd watch videos of this Alex Arthur, the pair of us. And he was saying, this is my last chance. I've got kids and this, that and the other and all that. And we kept him hidden from the world, so no one's seen him. The week before the fight, we had to go to Scotland, me, Billy Gray and Michael Gomez for the fight. We got to the first press conference. Wow. Michael, wow. He was fucking on it.
Really?
Ripped. Like some Rocky story, yeah?
Yeah.
Ripped. All the commentators, Ian Dark and all that, oh, Michael looks well and this is sipping water at the weigh-in and all that. He got on the scales for the weigh-in and he was like, he got there like that and I knew it. I thought, these have bitten off more than they can chew here. They've underestimated this kid here. They thought, yeah, he's a lunatic. But he was a lunatic, but he was quality.
Yeah.
And the night of the fight came and the crowd was unbelievable. Flower of Scotland, they were singing. It was mental. The atmosphere was so intimidating. It was one of the best I've ever been. If you go on YouTube, type in Michael Gomez, Alex Arthur, you'll see this fight.
Yeah.
I'm in the dressing room. I'm nervous. He's my best pal. And I never forget it. He used to be all angry before the fight and he'd start punching the lockers and stuff. But he was sat in the corner on his own. And I thought in my head, his arse has gone. He's bottled it here. You can hear that out there. His arse has gone. But he wasn't. He was contemplating the downfall of what this was. So he looked at me and I never forget it. It's in his book and he says, if I lose this fight tonight, am I finished? And I went, yeah. And he went, I'm fucked, aren't I?
You didn't even try and mince your words.
No, and I went, yep. And he went, and I could see the rage coming from his boots to his face. And he went, do me a favour. He went, don't sit ringside tonight. I had a ringside pass.
Yeah.
He went, go and sit with my sisters in the crowd. He said, because when I knock him out, this place is going to go off.
Yeah.
I went, right. And he knocked him out.
Really?
Oh, mate, it was what a fight.
Really?
What a fight. He knocked him out.
He basically fought with his life on the line.
For his life.
Yeah.
He knocked him out, right? And one of the best nights of my life, I was in the dressing room after. But this is how mad he is. We just won the belt again.
Yeah.
We're in the dressing room. Alex Arthur's gone to hospital to be checked out. We're in Princess Street, Edinburgh, in a limousine, blacked out windows. He says to the driver, take me to the nearest strip club, right? So the driver goes, there's one here. We pulls up outside. Bear in mind, he's just knocked out Scotland's international boxing hero. Yeah. He's got out of the thing to go in this strip club and there's hundreds of Scots in there. And we chased him just back out of there as fast as we can in the minibus and gone. And that should have been him then moving on to world titles. He fought Amir Khan after that, but he was washed.
Yeah.
And he got beat. But he went back to himself after that. He never came to my house. He never listened to Billy. He never trained. But I was with him and like you say, the podcast's not long enough to go into detail of some of the things we got up to. But if you read the book, I'm in that book.
Did you learn a lot of lessons from, I guess, his rise, but then his downfall as well? And then obviously the whole situation that you had as well personally with kind of almost going to jail. You had a lot of kind of lessons that you could learn before things went too far that you couldn't come back from.
Yeah. You have to. If you're around them kind of people, you either go and do what they do or you learn off of their mistakes. And I learned off their mistakes. And like you say, all that came up to and it all accumulated into the point where I've been let off for the jail. And that's when I decided I'm turning my life around. My son's a baby. And
do you think having a son basically
100%.
Did that change your life?
100%.
Was that the moment where it was like, I actually have because you talk about the responsibility with the businesses and the plumbing and obviously now I've got a clothing brand and all these things, but having responsibility for someone else's life that you brought into the world, I guess that is like the ultimate level of fix up.
Oh yeah, 100%. There's no hiding places because you go from waking up in the morning where you think, right, I've got to brush my teeth, got to have a shower, got to go to work, to shit, I better get my son out of bed. Is he all right? I've got to give him his breakfast. Does he need anything? Is his mum all right? Things like that. The level of responsibility overnight just comes. I say it to a lot of my pals. I go, have you had that moment yet when they have a kid? And he goes, what moment? I went, when you go upstairs on your own and think, I can't handle this. How can I live my life? Yeah. Because your life changes so much when you have a kid. You go from doing what you want to basically not doing what you want, And what happened with me and his mum weren't getting on. And we split up. My son was 1. And she went and moved out and her family got her a house. I lived in my house at the time. It was only a small house. But it was a dark place for me because I went from coming home every night from work, seeing my son, and going, "Hiya, mate," and all that, and giving him a bath and reading him a story and putting him in bed, and then waking up in the morning and giving him a kiss and going to work, to coming home to an empty, dark house on my own and seeing my son at weekends. And that's when I started drinking.
Right.
Again.
Yeah. Because, so this is the second round. Yeah.
So this was the second round.
Yeah.
So because I'm sat in my house on my own and people the pub's like 4 doors down. So lads are going, "What are you up to?" And I'm going,
and that's all it takes.
"Fuck all, I'm watching Coronation Street." And they're going, "You coming in the boozer or what?"
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Yeah." And then I started mixing with people I didn't want to mix with.
Yeah.
I'm running my own business, and at weekends, in the week I'm drinking, and at weekends I'm making any excuse to have my son for a few hours, but then give him to my mum and dad for the night while I go out.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And then this is what started happening. And then I got myself into a bit of a dark place with all that, and then ended up getting myself out of it again because I snapped out of it. I just snapped out of it. I ended up meeting my current girlfriend, and she lived in Manchester. So I used to finish work and drive to Manchester to see her.
Yeah.
And then I'd drive home, and then I got with her. She had a son, and then we decided to move in together. I bought a brand new house, and she came and moved with me, and that's when I had my daughter.
Yeah.
And then that's when my life changed then for the good, because everything good started to happen to me because I'd knocked it on the head. I'd been going back to football and just watching City and being a bit more grown up and responsible. I found that level of calm was where I needed to be.
Well, the band's over at this point.
The band was over, yeah.
So getting back into football, and then also the responsibility of having your children almost gave you too much to do in terms of a schedule. Plus you're running your own businesses.
Yeah.
You didn't even have time to go and have a booze or go for a pub. Like you were actually too busy for that. And maybe keeping yourself busy was part of the solution to just completely forget about it before you were able to like mentally really get over it. Because there was no temptation. There was no like, "What are you up to, Steve?" You weren't watching Coronation Street. You were busy.
I was busy, yeah.
Yeah.
I was busy. But then I was like, so my daughter was born. She had a few issues when she was born. She only had one of her kidneys was bad, so they had to have she had to have an operation when she was a baby to remove the kidney. So that was a worrying time. But I thought, right, I've got a good business here. I need to start, doing what I'm doing. I need to provide for the family and stuff. And that's when I set up the terrace cult business. Which was just an idea from watching I was watching Dragon's Den. And Dragon's Den is a show where every time I watch Dragon's Den, I feel very entrepreneurial.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'm going to create something today.
I feel like creating something. And always in the back of my mind, I felt about, I love my clothes. You've seen some of the jackets I wear and stuff like that. I love my clothes. But one thing I always noticed that not everyone can afford Stone Island or CP Company. So I'd always thought, well, I wonder if I could create a little brand which is like
similar,
decent,
but affordable.
And affordable. So we played Watford in the FA Cup final. We beat them 6, whatever it was. I'm driving home that night, and my mate said, my mate was talking to me, he's in a passenger seat. He says, my mate set a clothing brand up, tracksuits, da-da-da-da-da. And I said, oh, I've got an idea for a clothing brand. He said, what is it? So I'm telling him, I'm saying, I like the little cross off the Queen's crown, and he put a little cross on the T-shirts and this, that, and the other. And we had a chat about it. That was that. The next morning, he sends me a picture of a T-shirt with a cross on it. But the cross wasn't right. And I said, no, not like that, like this. He went, I've just put that in my mate's group chat, and 10 lads have messaged here saying, I'll have one of them.
Yeah.
And I was like, right. And he started annoying me about it. So I was like, I ain't got time for this. And so we started looking into it. So we started sending T-shirts off to manufacturers and seeing if they could embroider this cross, and none of them could do it right. And it was fucking crap, and it wasn't working.
It wasn't designed. You have like a specific image in your head of how you want it to look, and it's not.
And my mates were saying,
it.
that's it.
Yeah.
And I was going, it's not it. The cross isn't right. The T-shirt's not right. It's crap. I can't sell that to my mates. They'll tell me it's crap.
Yeah.
And then one day he rang me up. He went, I've just noticed there's a clothes fair going on at Salford Rugby Club tomorrow. Do you fancy going down or have a look? And I thought, I can't be arsed with that. And I was like, I'll see. Anyway, he rang me that about an hour before it, and he went, are you meeting me or what? We'll have a Nando's. I went, yeah, all right. I met him. We walked in this place. First stall I walked up to, there's a guy selling T-shirts. And I grabbed this t-shirt and I thought, fucking hell, that t-shirt's pretty smart. And I was like, can you do this cross on that t-shirt? Yeah, we can do it. Bang. That was it. It was born. The brand was born.
Yeah.
So we started to build it up. And we were working in the day, and at night time we were meeting above a plumbing shop, and we were packing orders and eating pizza and sending them out, and we were trying our best. And we've ended up Terrace Cult now. We've ended up we're in about 7 or 8 different countries. We've got we're a multi-million-pound company. We've got celebrity customers. We've got Ray Winston and that buys it. Ali McCoist, Ray Parler, people like that. So it's gone from an idea from Dragon's Den to packing above a plumbing shop to a warehouse with staff and designers and social media people and sponsoring movies. We sponsored the Rise of the Foot Soldier movie with Vinnie Jones. We were on the premiere, Leicester Square, Marbella. You know, so we've gone from that to that. But it's something I'm passionate about. I did sell a stake in Terrace Cult for a few quid, which paid off my mortgages. I've got property which I bought when I was young, which I now own. I rent out properties and stuff like that. So
is that dopamine for you, like starting new businesses, ventures, getting people together, making something happen, and then if it does brilliantly, then fantastic, and then you kind of move on to another thing?
Yeah, I love that.
Because what I wanted to bring up was obviously the plumbing business, the Terrace Cult, it's gone brilliantly, but then sometimes people don't see the other side of business, where I know you had an issue on Rival Tiers with people that you went into business with. What was that like in terms of like the lessons learned and all that kind of stuff?
Business, anyone that's got businesses knows that businesses don't always run well.
Yeah.
We set up Rival Tiers, the water company. It was a great idea. The concept's brilliant. It didn't go well. You know, there was people involved in it, and things happened, and disagreements happened, and it was time to wash my hands of it. You know, so I washed my hands of it. I gave my side of Rival Tiers away. I've got nothing to do with it anymore. There's people who have took that now and they're doing well with it, which I wish them all the best in the world. Yeah, because I lost friends out of it. You know, people that I respected and people that I had a lot of respect for and a lot of time for, I lost because of business. So yeah, you can find that in business, you know. Yeah. But you move on, you keep on going, and like you say, and now I'm proud of what I've achieved with my businesses and stuff. I'm proud of where I got to. But the main turning point for the drinking, so this is my 7th year sober now. Yeah. So 7 years ago, we had an away game, and I got back in with the same lads. Bit of a reunion away game. From the moment I left my house at 9 a.m. and had a can of beer, the whole day was a car crash. So
it's our Freshers Week.
It was mental. Yeah. We were scrapping in pubs that we'd stopped off at. City had got beat. There was violence in the stadium. There was altercations outside. And then I woke up in a hotel. So I didn't even go home. And I woke up in the morning and I went into the toilet. And I remember there's a big mirror. I looked at myself in the mirror and I thought, you fucking dickhead. You're just a dickhead. You know, you're playing at it. That's what I actually thought. You're playing at it. I thought, you just set up Terrace Cult. You're doing well with your business. You're scraping at the surface of it. So I wasn't putting 100% into any of them. I was just putting 30% in. And then at weekend I was having a pint. I was doing this. I was doing that. And I thought, do you know, if I really, really got knuckled down into this, I could do it. So I went home and she was obviously going mad. And I said, that's me, done, drinking. She went, yeah, I've heard it all before. I went, nah, it's done. I'm not drinking anymore. She went, right, yeah, we'll see.
Oh, was it like a light switch for you?
Yeah. And I never drank. I've never drank since that day. Never drank. And I started putting 100% into everything. I'm getting up in the morning at 6 a.m. I'm fresh. I'm doing 7 solid days work. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. That's when things started to move. You know, my plumbing business is a multi-million-pound business in a small village. And it does well for itself. It's provided a good living for me. Terrace Cult got up to into the millions of turnover, you know? And it's like, that's no coincidence. That's because I'm at the head of the ship. Yeah. Fully clear head. Yeah. Fully focused. You know, every decision I make is a clear-headed decision. Every decision I made previous to that might have been me on the way of an hangover or a bit clouded because I was pissed. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was the best thing I ever done. The best thing I ever done is stop drinking. I had to do it. You know, I had to do it. But there was one weird thing that my missus always said to me. She said, every time, even though when you were drinking, you never drank in front of your kids. And I said, no. She went, why? I said, because I don't know why. I probably, because in my brain, I knew that I didn't like drinking. So I didn't want my kids to see me drinking.
Yeah. And you knew the memories would stick and
Yeah.
they would start to form an opinion of what you were like whilst drunk.
Well, here's a funny tale about that, right?
Yeah.
So I've never, ever drank in front of my kids, right?
Yeah.
Only once. Do you know what it was? We've all gone on holiday.
Yeah.
1 year. Man City playing West Ham first game of the season. Said to the missus, I'll do the water parks. I'll do the theme parks. I'll be Uncle Knobhead in the swimming pool with all the kids, no problem. But on Saturday, City are playing West Ham. I'm going out with my dad. We're having a few beers on our own. Goes, right, okay. Anyway, gets ready. Just about to leave. Me lad and my stepson, both City kits on. Dad, can we watch the match with you? I went, I was going to have a beer and that. Oh, well, I watched the match. And I'm thinking, I can't fucking tell them no.
Yeah.
I said, come on then. So they come out. So I'm on the beer night, right? Well, City's
First
won.
time ever.
First time ever.
Yeah.
City's won. I'm pissed. They get me back to the hotel. I'm on TikToks. Yeah, they're spray painting my hair. They're painting my face green. They're doing everything. Yeah, they're having the time of their life. These kids. I woke up in the morning like that. I'm all over TikTok. Thank God I'm not. Nobody knew who I was.
Yeah.
But I'm on TikToks and everything.
Just Stephen.
To this day now, yeah, out of 1,000,000 times I could have possibly gone on the piss in front of me kids, they mention it all the time.
Yeah.
Remember that time that you was drunk in Tenerife or whatever, and I'm like,
You don't, yeah.
I should have just got drunk every week with these kids. These kids don't forget anything, you know what I mean? But no, their life changed because they got the dad back.
Yeah.
They got the dad back with a bit more energy. The dad that wanted to take them to the park. The dad that wanted to, let's go away for the weekend, let's do this. They didn't get the dad that was lethargic and hiding and thinking, oh, I'll stay
Had
on
no
the
energy in the
couch,
morning.
I'm having a drink tonight. Tomorrow will be rough. I'm not taking them here. I'm not
Angry,
taking them there.
miserable. Yeah.
Yeah, they got themselves back, but I worked on it, and like you say, it was a tough road to go down because the world we live in now is so much involved in alcohol,
especially the football sphere.
Yeah.
So I was going to ask you, like, what kind of advice would you give to people that are struggling to stay sober, but they're trying to, like you have? You've done sober for how many years now?
7
years. But they're still ingrained in that football culture where they're going to games and people are drinking at pubs and whatnot. And it's almost like you're shamed into not drinking.
Yeah.
Because I remember when I grew up in Ireland, the first few like months, maybe year, I wasn't really interested in drinking. I'm maybe like 16, 17 years old. But people kind of look at you funny, like, why aren't you drinking? Like, because it's so like normalized and so expected of you in that scenario in a bar or a pub. You've got to drink. Like, why on earth wouldn't you drink? So how do you kind of change that perception or perspective of, I don't need to drink, even if I'm being swayed to? And how did you sway away from people that, because over the 7 years, people are definitely saying to you, yo, you want to drink?
Oh, 100%, 100%.
You've told them no.
There's so many people I've helped as well. I've helped, probably helped double-figure number of men quit drink, who have approached me on Instagram and things like that, where I've spoke to them. I mean, and you know yourself, I've shown you some of the things, some of the DMs and stuff I've had on Instagram and the things I've had to deal with on there. And I've become great friends with a lot of people who were having problems, and I've took time out of my day to explain it to them. I think they looked at me and thought, you know what, Steve's all right. He goes to the game. How is he coping with that?
Yeah.
And it was hard, but you've got to have some sense of willpower. You can't just switch it off. I know lads that have gone from having beers, then they have to having shandies, to having halves, to nothing.
Yeah.
I've gone for lads who have just knocked it on the head and gone, you know what, I don't need it anymore. But all I can say to people out there is that the benefits outweigh everything. Your brain becomes optimal. You know what I mean? You start to focus on things. You're sharper. Your health and your body starts to heal different. Your mindset changes. You start to realize that what you're doing takes discipline. It takes some man, I always say, to stop drinking in today's day and age. If it's your birthday, what do? You have a drink.
Yeah.
Somebody passes away, you have a drink.
Yeah.
You get a promotion at work, you have a drink. You go to the football, you have a drink. You go on holiday and you drink all week. you know, so everything revolves around drink.
Yeah.
But you're poisoning yourself. You're poisoning yourself, really. Because, I've had a bad day at work, I'll have a glass of wine. You're poisoning yourself. You know what I mean? Go for a walk. You know, if you had a bad day at work, go and get your missus, get her all by the hand, go for a walk, buy a dog, take the dog out, come back, have a bath, sit down.
Get a Sergio.
Get a little Sergio, watch your Netflix. You'll feel a lot better from turning to the drink. But not everyone can do it, and I appreciate that. But it's like, it just felt right for me. You know what I mean? And do you know what? I don't miss it now.
Yeah.
6 months. It was hard. Nearly caved a few times.
Yeah.
The only one that's put drink in my mouth since that day is Kyle Walker at the treble party.
Jackie Grealish.
And Super Jack.
Yeah.
Super Jack and Kyle Walker.
Because Grealish has some drinks.
Tried to get me to do the turkey. So I've got Jack Grealish at one side. I'm pinned against a bus, by the way.
Yeah.
He's got hold of my neck and he's going... And I've got Kyle Walker with a full bottle of Grey Goose tipping it in my mouth, and he's shouting in his daft Brummy accent, "Do the turkey, do the turkey." And I'm like, spits it all out. I went, I don't drink. And then one of the kit man's gone, he don't drink. Kyle Walker's gone, oh shit, mate, I'm sorry. And that Jack really didn't give a shit.
Of course he didn't.
He didn't give a shit. He was like, come on, Stevie. I'm like, no, mate, not doing it. But
if there was ever a time you were going to break, it would have been that moment right there, and you still didn't. It's a fair play.
I'd said in Istanbul that if City won the treble, I'd have one night on the beer, and I was fully intending to do that.
Yeah.
But the night before the game, I bumped into an old pal of mine, lives in Spain. He called Paul Darby. A big respect to him, and he pulled me to one side and said, I said to him, yeah, when we win the treble tomorrow, I'm going to get pissed. And he was like, why? I was like, yeah, we won the treble. And he was like, if you drink after all these years, you're going to regret it.
Yeah.
And when we won the treble and I came out the ground, his thoughts came in my mind. And I got to the restaurant that we booked, and my mate put a pint in front of me and said, let's have a toast to the treble. And I moved it away. I never drank it.
Wow.
And I felt so good.
Yeah.
And the next morning was like, fucking yes.
Go on, Steve.
I've won the treble. And I'm fresh.
Yeah, yeah.
I love banging on Dapsy's door, getting him out of bed because his head was hanging out of his ass.
Yeah.
But and that was that there. Yeah. But it's been a good road. But what the good thing is as well, I have to reward myself. So
milestones.
Yeah. So basically, it's the 29th of December, or 27th of December is the anniversary of me not drinking. And every year I don't drink, I book Dubai or Abu Dhabi for the kids.
Yeah.
So when I get there on January the 5th and I see them kids on jet skis in Atlantis, that's what makes me happy.
Yeah.
Because I think
he's done it again. Yeah.
Dad's discipline all year has allowed this to happen for them.
Yeah.
So every bit of money I've saved on beer at games and stuff, that's what I do it for. And that's how you've got to think. You know, there's a mate going through it at the minute. I think he's done 4 or 5 months. And I said to him, reward yourself at the end of every month. Get yourself a little aftershave or something a little bit nice. Or you and your missus go for a nice sit down. And he finds that works for him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But there's no better feeling in the world than being able to sit there with your beer belly out. Not a beer belly anymore, it's a chocolate belly.
Yeah, yeah.
and see your kids smiling.
Yeah.
And running around and thinking, wow, these kids are living it because I sacrificed to be able to provide for that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's enough people out there that'll say, oh, he's going to Dubai. Yeah, because I'm going to Dubai because I've not drank all year. You're not going to Dubai because you're on the piss every weekend and sniffing your back out in someone's kitchen. You know? So let's have it real.
Yeah.
Let's have it real. If you wanted to go Dubai, sacrifice that.
Yeah.
And at the end of the year, you go wherever you want.
Yeah.
But they won't. You
know incremental.
What I mean? Of course.
Incremental differences make a massive change. It's mad, bro. It's inspiring what you've been able to do because...
And the charity work I do, nobody knows about it. Pete, you might know about it. I've said it before.
Yeah.
I've provided football kits to villages in Ghana because they've reached out to me on Instagram. There's kids who in Cameroon who were playing football in bare feet. I bought their boots. I don't put it on Instagram. I don't publicise it. You know, Erling Haaland sent me a load of stuff. I sold it all, donated it to Manchester Food Bank before Christmas, donated it to Cleaner and Drier mental health charity, donated it to the Manchester City Football Group to to buy banners and stuff like that. Didn't publicise it. But they make me feel good then, things like that. That's what gets me going now. That's what makes me
It's a
feel,
fulfillment.
Yeah, because I feel like, you know, people can call me on the internet because I'm out there, you know, and my job is to wind people up.
Rattle the cages.
Of course, if I'm not winding people up, and I'm not doing my job, you know. But on a human level, I've spoke to so many people. You know, there's a story about the homeless guy from the Big Six. So I'll tell that story now. I'm at home one night. It's a Friday night. It's pissing down. It's freezing. This guy messages me and goes, "Yo, Steve, I'm a big fan of the Big Six. Is this your clothing brand? I want to buy a T-shirt." I said, "No problem, mate. You can get a T-shirt. I'll give you a discount code." What it is I'm homeless. And when I get enough money together, I'm going to buy one. So I'm like, "What do you mean you're homeless?" So he said, "I'm living in a tent in a church, and the priest lets me use the Wi-Fi, and I watch Big Six episodes in the tent at night, and it gets me through the night." And I'm sat there, I've just ordered a curry for all the kids, and this guy's sat in a tent in the rain, messaging me, wanting to buy one of my T-shirts.
Yeah.
So I says, "You need to tell me a bit more about why you're homeless. How's this got to this?"
Yeah.
So he said, I've got a daughter. She's 2 or 3 years old. I've got mental health problems. I'm struggling with depression and stuff, and I can't live with her. I'm better off for me living outside in the tent because it's not good for my daughter to see. So it really struck a chord with me, right? So I said, "Have you got a bank account or anything?" He went, "Yeah." And he'd sent me a picture of him in this tent. And I went, "Right." I went, "Have you had any food tonight?" And he said, No. My mate's going to borrow me some money tomorrow. I'm going to get some food." Felt so bad.
Yeah.
Right? So I sent him £100. And I went, "Don't get any drugs with that or anything like that." I went, "This is me sending this to you. Go and get yourself some food and, you know, speak to me tomorrow."
Yeah.
He sent me a picture back. This guy had the biggest kebab I've ever seen in my life. And the smile on the geezer's face would have lit up the room.
Yeah.
And I thought, that's mint that.
Yeah.
2 days later, the guy's walking outside of Tesco's, bumps into Turkish. Yeah.
How much of a coincidence is that?
So he
by the way?
goes, "Yo, Turkish. I'm a big fan of the Big Six. I've been talking to Steve. Steve sent me some money. I'm a homeless guy, blah, de, blah, de, blah." So then Turkish has gone, "All right, blah, de, blah, de, blah," starts talking to him. Then it comes out that Tobi's brother, TYSON, is part of this church who's been helping him. So somehow, me, Turkish, and TYSON via Tobi have been connected to this guy.
Yeah.
So I said, this is
Fate.
Fate, this.
Yeah.
So I chatting to him, I said, "Look, you need to get yourself back on your feet and get to see your daughter. What can I do to help you?" So I remember yourself, you chipped in.
Yeah.
The Big Six lads chipped in, and me and Turkish helped him out. We gave him some money, etc., etc. And we got this guy to the point where he was sending us pictures, walking around the park, full terrace cult rig out, with his pram, with his daughter in the pram, with a little ice cream, and we got him there.
Yeah.
And it was fucking amazing.
Yeah.
And the guy, he went from he went from being helped by the church, then he became a Muslim. So then he got the help of all the Muslim brothers. So they started to help him.
Yeah.
So he literally flipped his life. But it was one chance message to me that started the ball rolling for him. You know what I mean? And he did a podcast, and I've seen it.
Oh, has he?
Yes, and he mentioned this event, but he doesn't name me in Turkish, to be fair.
Yeah.
And he just says, "I'll be forever grateful for them 2 lads that came together and got me there."
Yeah.
But what a great story.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? To get someone out of a tent in the rain, to get back on his feet, to fall back in love with to taking his daughter out for the day and becoming a better person and stuff like that. And so this power of social media and stuff like that, and the way you can help people is so good. And it's little stories like that just, I think them stories are sent, them things are sent down.
Yeah.
There's no way that this guy can be connected to me in Manchester, Turkish on one side of London and Tobi's brother on the other side. It just doesn't work like that. You know?
Yeah.
But that was a fantastic thing that we've done. And like you say, I'll always try and help everyone I can. I've done a lot of speeches and a lot of, these mental health charities have asked me to do stuff, talk about, you know, I'm quite embarrassed about things like that because I don't think that I'm just a normal person, me.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm
social media does give you that kind of, it does bring things a lot closer together. Like you would have never have known, like you said, we're back in the 80s, the 90s, you would have never been able to communicate with someone like that without social media. You would never have even known that they existed. But social media just kind of intertwines everybody's lives a lot closer together than ever before. So the fact that all just kind of aligned at that specific moment, and you just happen to be having your curry going through your phone and seeing that,
I know.
it's mad, isn't it? When it's fate, like you said. So it's a beautiful part of what we could do, you know, as being on content creators. Don't forget that we all see the nasty side of it, but these people only see you on the internet how they want to see you. Yeah.
You know, I'm a character on the internet. You know, and my character is defend your football club.
We're going to talk about it.
And if you can rattle a few, rattle a few. But the personal journey I'm telling you here, a few months ago, you wouldn't have got me saying that.
Yeah.
Because I'm a private person. I don't want to put myself all over the internet, and I don't want trolls coming at me saying, oh, you used to do this. I was no alcoholic, but alcohol wasn't good with me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I've never took drugs. I've never done this. I've been an idiot. Yeah, I've been in it, and I've paid the price for it.
Yeah.
You know, I've lost relationships. I've lost time with my children and stuff like that. But now, I changed my life myself.
Yeah.
I decided to change it. I'm doing it. I'm perfectly happy what I'm doing. I've got a great relationship with my kids. My son is 17. He's a musician. He thinks he's Liam Gallagher. He's playing bands every week. He's going out touring. He's played with some of the biggest bands around, and he's an absolutely diamond of a kid.
Yeah.
He's a lovely lad with a great nature. He's not offensive, and he's a credit to me and his mum, because we split up young.
Yeah.
And it could have gone Pete Tong.
Yeah.
He could have had this angry head on him that my dad wasn't with me, but I was always with him. I went to every single parents' evening, every single play, every single school photo, every single Christmas morning, 6 a.m. My ex-missus would let me come to her house at 6 a.m.
Yeah.
with some breakfast. I'd get the breakfast cooking, and I got to wake my son up every Christmas morning at 6 a.m. Even though I wasn't with her.
You wasn't in the house,
so
yeah.
I always respect her for that. She could have said no.
Yeah.
But
once she seen you as getting back on the straight and narrow,
she knew.
She knew, yeah.
She knew. We clashed. We didn't get on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Me drinking, whatever. That's the bad. But we were old enough and adult enough to say, look, let's put our differences aside.
Yeah.
And let's concentrate on him.
Yeah.
And he'll stand there, and everyone that meets him will say, your son's a lovely lad. And he'll say it never affected me because he never knew. He just thought, Dad lives there, Mum lives there. When I go to a school play, they're both there. When I go to parents' evening, they're both there.
Yeah.
When I wake up on Christmas Day, they're both there.
Yeah. And I've got 2 houses.
Yeah, I've got trainers, good trainers on.
Yeah.
I've got a nice coat. If I want to go on a school trip, I go.
Yeah.
He doesn't know any different. And I think, and you know, and it's, I see people now that are loggerheads with their ex-misses and things like that. And I always say to someone, look, the most important thing in the world is your kids, and they're in control of them every day. So why are you making their life hard? Because it just makes his life hard.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, and I was guilty of it. You split up with your missus, and that first child support payment, you think, she's going out on the piss.
Yeah.
She's going partying with that money.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. That's how you are, because you're just an angry, mad head.
Resentful, yeah.
Then when you take a step back and think, no, she's bought his food, she's bought his
standard of living is. Yeah.
Then you kind of feel guilty and think, oh,
maybe I should send some more.
I see it, but I've educated a lot of young lads. Like, I get a lot of young lads at football who go split up with my missus. She wants £50 a week. I'm not giving her £50 a week. I always say, listen, whoa, calm down. £50 a week's for your son.
Yeah.
It's not for, get out of your head.
Yeah.
And you know, and if you got to try and pass the knowledge on, because older guys passed that on to me.
Yeah.
When I was going to the game, I was going with the older boys.
Yeah.
So when I was making daft mistakes, I got the arm around the shoulder off a few of them. You need to calm down.
Yeah.
You're fucking ballooning it. Sort your head out. But you respect them people, you know, and that's how it is. But yeah. So that part of my life, what you're talking about there, was mad. Chaos. But I've got inner peace now.
That's
calm.
good, man.
I'm a lover now.
Yeah. Not a fighter.
No, I'm not a fighter. I love football. I love Manchester City. And when they took Manchester City away from me,
that's when you really was like, oh shit.
When they give it back, I
felt even better.
I fell in love with it.
Yeah, felt even better.
4 times over.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
So I actually do, because you spoke on social media as well. Obviously, you're on the Big Six. You met Tobi through Cheeky Sport, if I'm remembering correctly, because there is content of you and Tobi on YouTube on Cheeky Sport, which is nothing to do with Big Six, nothing to do with your individual channels now as we see them. You two knew each other from. So how did you guys meet, and how did you guys? What happened there?
So I came out of Wembley. Arsenal just beat City.
Yeah.
And I'm walking. I'm a normal fan. I've never been on. I don't even know what YouTube is. I'm walking down the Wembley way. I sees this commotion. There's a load of lads arguing about football. I heard this Arsenal fan saying some ridiculous stuff. So I've said something. This guy's gone. Mike. Joel Bayer.
Yeah, yeah.
So he's gone. There you go. Have it. So I've had it with this guy. Don't know. Murdered him alive. Yeah. Give the mic back. Walked off. Joel's chased me down the road. Whoa, 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 whoa. Do you do content? No. Do you want to do content? No. we need a City fan online because the City fans get ripped all the time. Plastic this, plastic that. I want you to do something for me. I got this channel, Cheeky Sport. It was all French to me.
Yeah, of course.
I said, there's my number. Message me. Anyway, he messaged me and he said to me, can you start doing these 60-second vlogs when you leave the stadium? I said, right, okay. So anyway, I comes out the stadium, first one, and I does it. But this is on the run when Manchester City have got to win 14 games to win the Premier League title.
Yeah.
And I do 14 vlogs every week, and I've won every one of them. So now I'm that, who's that bald-headed City guy who's proper arrogant, who's this, that, and the other.
Yeah.
So Cheeky Sport, he knew what he's doing, Joel.
Yeah.
He knew what he's doing. He's thinking, Steve's, we're going to get him in.
Yeah.
So then all of a sudden, he's told me, you need to get an Instagram. You need to do this, you need to do that, whatever. Yeah. And he invites me down to London to do some Cheeky Sport content. And then I meet Tobi for the first time in Shoreditch High Street. So I'm in Shoreditch. And let me tell you, not Shoreditch, Croydon.
Oh, God.
Right,
yeah,
wow. So you can imagine, can't you?
Yeah, that's
so I'm in Croydon
work.
And I'm thinking, wow, what's going on here? Tobi's arguing to me about Endon bellyache and all this, and I'm ripping him apart. And we had this ding-dong in the street. Yeah. That's when the first time I met Tobi and stuff like that. And then I think it was when it went really big for me was when I got invited to do the Lad Bible. Didn't know anything about it. Agreed to disagree. Come down.
This is the big clip that went viral. Yeah.
So I walked out, sat down, and then the Don Robbie walked in. So I'm thinking, I knew who Robbie was. Yeah. And I'm thinking, right, I'm in the deep end here. So yeah, I'm representing the club and the fans, and I've got to make sure I do it proud. So that conversation was a very good conversation with me and Robbie. It was great. It was respectful. And I've got to give Robbie credit because he didn't know me. Yeah. He's probably thinking, who's this geezer? You know what I mean? I'd never done content before. But I think we found a level of respect between us where he listened to what I was saying. Yeah. He tried to get me with a no history plastic thing. And then when I went into that monologue going on about Grimsby and that, that's the clip that went viral. Yeah. And when they put that out, it blew up. Yeah. Micah Richards messaging me and that. I had loads of celebrities going, wow, this City fans. I don't think anyone had really seen that side of a City fan before. No, we haven't. I think everyone had always thought, it's this little entitled guy chumping online about Aguero and all the money they've got. But nobody actually thought about what had gone on before at the club.
Your story.
So, and then it started to get mad. And then obviously I got invited on the Big Six.
So how did that happen? What was the first Turkish, obviously, maybe reaches out?
It was Tobi.
Oh, Tobi.
So Tobi said, I've got a mate of mine, Turkish, because he used to speak to me like I knew everyone. But you know me, I don't know anyone. You don't know anyone. I don't know anyone. I don't watch any content. I don't know anyone. Yeah. So, you know, like KSI and all them, they could have been stood next to me and I would not have a clue who they was. Yeah. He said, my mate's got this channel, this thing, we need a City fan. And I remember coming on, I didn't have a laptop, I had my phone. It was balancing on a couple of books on the floor and I was sort of half watching it. Yeah. That's when I've met Saeed and Stockport Wi-Fi. Yeah. You know, and we were all much younger then, but I know it was brilliant and I enjoyed it. And then that's when I thought, you know what? But it was the difference at the game. Like I'm walking down the street, people are shouting me, "Yo, Big Steve, you're that guy off the finger." I was out with my missus in a restaurant. A guy come over, "Can I shake your hand? You're that guy who said that to that Arsenal fan." and that was brilliant, and everything I thought about, that's what you said, and that's what kept happening to me, you know.
So Big Steve started with the football social media. It went from Steven to Big Steve on Cheeky Sport.
He just went Big Steve. Joel Bayer called me Big Steve.
And
that's
it. Okay.
Because I was bigger then. I was 20 odd stone at that point.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it was Big Steve, and but if you go to the my nickname's Lumme.
Yeah.
So if you walk around Manchester, lads will come up to me and go, "How you doing, Lumme?" Then you know he's known me for a long time.
Yeah.
If someone comes up, yo, Big Steve, can I have a picture? He knows me from social media.
From that point on,
So my mates laugh at it and go, fucking Big Steve. And like my mates get pissed off because people will go, can you take a picture? And my mate's like, I'm not a photographer. So Charity Shield a few years ago, Daps, we counted how many pictures we took in one day.
Yeah.
And it was over 100.
Bloody hell. Because you are, and I mean this, you are the biggest social media guy for City in terms of like representing the club on social media, on platforms. I know like on your channel you kind of dibble and dabble here and there. You know, Instagram, you got the TikTok as well. But like when it comes down to representing from Oldham away, which is what we've already discussed on here today, all the way to the treble, the 4 in a row, you're the guy that most people look at and say, that's City.
Yeah, I'm the target, I think. But I think I deserve to be the target because I've rattled enough cages. You got MCFC lads, Luke, who I've known Luke since he was a kid. I remember Luke came up to me, he was about that big, and he got his picture at Sporting Lisbon away. His dad said, thanks for having a picture with him, he really likes your stuff.
Yeah.
But Luke goes home and away. I've always took to Luke, so I've always wanted Luke to do well.
Yeah.
So any opportunities I get, which I don't quite fancy, I'll put it towards Luke because he's doing it full time. So there's really is me and Luke are the Manchester City content creators. But for how long I last in this game, I don't know.
So I wanted to touch on, so obviously at some point, how many years, I don't know how many years it's into it, but you end up leaving Big Six.
Yes.
What was like your main reason for why you left? Because I don't think you've ever spoken about it before.
No.
On camera or anything.
So what was happening was, my daughter was only young. I'm coming home from work, I'm stressed to death. I'm literally having my tea, and then I'm like, I've got to go to the studio to film the Big Six. So I wasn't putting my daughter to bed, and me and my missus were spending really no time together. So that was a bit of a factor. And then there was I was well into terrace cult, I was well into the plumbing thing, and everything just got a bit on top of me, and I was sort of, you know, I was getting bogged down with comments and interacting with people and arguing with people, and then thinking that that's how it was.
Yeah.
And then I thought, in the end of it, you know what, I wasn't enjoying it. I felt like it was it was hard work. And then I thought, I've got to concentrate on work. I was missing out on things because I was tired. And so people think that the Big Six it takes some energy, like. You know, we sit on that channel, and if it's a big show, 3-hour show, you know, you come off that, you've got eyes like piss holes in the snow. You're like this. You get up in the morning, you're like, oh, and you're thinking. So it's a
lot of attention as well.
It is.
The show's big.
And you see me, I like going into the comments.
This is what I remember saying to you, right? Because obviously, like, I grew up in social media era a lot more, whereas you didn't know nothing about it. So you got thrown into the deep end, in my opinion, because I kind of like incrementally went through like having multiple channels, loads of less views, Twitter, which is like the worst place to like maybe build, but it toughens you up for like all the shit that you're going to get. Whereas you just got thrown in and you were like, what the fuck is all this? So I was like always saying to you, like, Steve, don't check all the comments. Don't reply to any comments. Don't check all your DMs, even though a fantastic story came out of it. Because what will happen is you'll mentally become overstimulated, and it will really start to bog you down, drain you. You'll feel like the more you reply, the more you have to reply. And it's not even like the first reply. Then it becomes a conversation. And you want to make sure that you've really like got to the end of that conversation, or they've left. And it's like, you can't do that as the show gets bigger, because it's going to be like 100K viewers, 1,000 comments. And I remember saying to you, I was like, Steve, don't worry about the bad comments. Like 1,000 comments, and say like 100 of those, no, not even 100. I have to go to a bet. Like 50 of those are negative.
Yeah.
What's 50 out of 110 or 120,000 views?
Exactly.
Like that percentage is so small. Don't worry about it. But I remember you used to get so like worked up because
because to me, I'm a normal guy, and to have the thought that anybody felt. Or it was always when someone took something wrong. Yeah. It's always like I used to want to explain to him, like, you've took that well wrong. Yeah. But you've got to understand that people take it how they want to take it. We've been on shows and people, you can read the comments and it can say, don't like Grizz Khan, get him off the show. The next one, Saeed is an elite ball knowledge. The next one, Saeed has not got a clue about football. Turkish, I can't stand him. Matisse, he does me head in. I love Big Steve. I hate Big Steve. And then it's like, so when you look at it that way, you know, it's mad. But when, like you say, I was thrown in the deep end. I'd never been on any other platforms before. And I just like, there can be some really sick comments about your children and that. And I was like, you know what? I'm trying to be
authentic
open,
and genuine,
honest and genuine.
Yeah.
I reply to people's stories. I help people out. I've helped so many rival fans out. And you want to come for me because I said Jadon Sancho's shit or Donny van der Beek's a crap player. You want to say things about my children. And then I thought, do I need this? Do I need it? And then I thought, you know what? I'm going to take a break from it. I can't be arsed with it.
Yeah.
And that was my plan. I did miss it 100%. But I love Huey.
Yeah.
I've got a lot of time for Huey, and I thought, and you know, he had the easy time for me.
You were winning.
The 4 in a row. Yeah. And he did not have to go on the Gremlin army after the Champions League final
In Porto, yeah.
In Porto. But you know, I was like, I used to get rattled about things and like snap back and snap, rah, 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 me and Saeed and all that.
Yeah.
And then Turkish helped me a lot. Turkish helped me a lot with like seeing things from a different angle and yourself explaining things to me where I was like, yeah, I get it now. And now, doesn't bother me one bit.
Yeah.
I'm well over it. I'm well into it.
In between that time, you was on the terrace for a bit. Yeah. And I can imagine whatever Big Six was, it was maybe worse there because you didn't have, like with Big Six, you was there from the beginning. So there's a lot of like emotional attachment to the audience. There's a lot of like community in terms of like they all know us from the beginning. So 99% of them love us. And sometimes when you get the negative, you do see it and you focus on it.
When I quit that Big Six,
but
the messages I got
was mad.
It made me cry.
Really?
Like some of them, like and one always sticks out. A guy messaged me and said, me and my wife, we lost our son and it's been a rough time and we haven't laughed for 6 months. And you said, I forget what I said. You said this on the Big Six the other night, and both me and my wife burst into laughter. First time in 6 months. I just want to thank you for that. And I was like, that's real life shit, that.
Yeah.
You know, the guy's lost his kid. And he's saying, and you know, and that's when, and out of, I think there was like nearly 700 messages, I replied to every single one. It took me 3 days. 3 days.
Yeah.
And I did every single one out of respect.
Yeah.
You know, and that's when I realised. That's when I realised, wow, the love that I've got on this channel miles outweighs the dickheads.
Yeah.
You know, and then like you say, I thought, you know, I couldn't watch. I used to watch the Big Six, but then I didn't like commenting because then the comments would all go, Big Steve, yes.
It takes it away from you.
It takes it away from you.
Yeah.
I didn't want to do that. The only time I ever did that is when I knew Hugh was getting fried.
And you wanted to
defend
defend
him. So I thought,
him.
I'll come in. They can kill me. By the time they finish killing me, Hugh's done his segment and he's got under the radar.
Yeah.
And that's what I did. And then obviously when I got the opportunity to come back, I was on holiday and I said to the missus, like, what do you think? And she was like, do it. You enjoy it. You know, you like doing it. Do it. You know, because we're all brothers at the end of the day.
Yeah.
People go out and see us on the Big Six have a row. Some people used to think it was serious.
It was serious, yeah.
Oh, that was a bit nasty by Steve. Steve's very aggressive. I can come across loud and aggressive. But I'll tell you something, if they, you know, they see us in South Africa, it's different.
Yeah.
We love each other as brothers. We have great banter. The group chat pops off every day.
Yeah.
We've really built something special because it's not every day you can get chemistry like that.
Yeah.
You know, you can throw 6 people together, but it's very rare that them 6 people never have a fallout. You can do content twice a week, every week. You're bantering each other's football teams. No one's getting upset. And we know how to push each other's buttons.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. But yeah, it was a I needed to leave at that time. I wasn't 100% involved in it. I couldn't focus on it. I needed to leave. And I left. And honestly, the relief that came off my shoulders when I left was perfect. But I had a few really important business things that I wasn't giving enough time to.
Yeah.
So I chopped it and then I went away and I earned some life-changing money. And it set me up.
Yeah.
And so it was right to do.
Yeah.
It worked out right, you know. And now I'm back. I'm in a better place. And
you feel like you deal with the comment side of it a lot better now. It's a big change.
I'm chilled now. I realise it's, you know, and like I go on other podcasts and it's about the energy. Like the Big Six is like Game of Thrones. Have you seen the advert with Jon Snow when all the horses are running at him and he stood with a sword? That's me on the Big Six. I'm taking legs off horses and I'm trying to fight for my life. I go on other podcasts and it's calm. I can have a sensible, calm conversation.
Absolutely.
You know, people, I hate the Big Six. There's never any analysis. I love the Big Six. That was wild, wild west.
You can't win.
You can't win.
No, you can't win. And once you realise you can't win, you stop playing the game and just enjoy yourself and do what you want to do. You're not going to please everybody. It's impossible.
And and I'm me.
Yeah.
And what you see is what you get. I'm genuine.
Yeah.
Saeed's genuine. You know, he genuinely loves Man United, and that's him. You know, and you're the same with Chelsea. Tobi's just mental. Chris does his thing, and Turkish is a real one. And like you say, we're doing our thing. But I'm glad I'm back.
Yeah.
And but yeah, when I left, it was emotional for me.
Yeah.
It was emotional for me because I didn't feel like that many people would be asked. And that's when I seen all the messages and the Big Six not the same about you, Steve, and all that, I thought, whoa. But I probably underestimated how big we'd built it and how much love there was to us. I come to London here, it's unbelievable.
Really?
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Down the escalator, yo, Big Steve, stop ripping Arsenal apart. Really? All great fun.
And it takes the level of banter just to another level now, isn't it? Because it's just more people just having that banter with you on a regular basis.
One of the best moments I had, I went to Crystal Palace away. I'm walking down the high street. There's a barber shop on the corner.
Yeah.
Remember Desmond's, the show about barbers?
Yeah.
It reminded me of that. The guys recognised me. Big Steve, come in here. So I've gone into this barber shop. It's just all Afro-Caribbean guys in there.
Yeah.
Proper old school Jamaican guys, and they're all talking about football. So you can imagine it, can't you?
Yeah.
I'm sat in this shop with these guys talking about football for about an hour. We're having the time of our life. They loved the Big Six show, this, that, and the other. I thought, that was brilliant, that. And that's when I'd left the show.
Yeah.
I walked down to the turnstile and we're queuing up to get in the city, and there was a big guy there, Rastafarian-looking guy with dreads.
Yeah.
He's gone, can you lift your hands up, please? So I've lifted my hands up like this. He's patted me down and then he's gone, give me a hug. And he went, love you, Big Steve. I want you back on the Big Six. It nearly broke me down, man.
Really?
Yeah, he's a big monster. I thought, this guy, he either fancies me here, I'm fucked here. This guy, you know, if he says it's Christmas, I'm singing carols. He just went, boom, love you, Big Steve.
Yeah.
And I thought, and I went in the ground that day and I thought, he's fucking mad. It's mad. And I'm like, but yeah, it's crazy. But at the end of the day, I'm back now, and like you say, I had the little break and stuff like that. The video of me coming back in the villa in Spain, the Godfather thing was sick. Skullfuggery made it looking wicked and that, and yeah, man, I'm back in South Africa, man.
Oh, it's ridiculous, bro.
I didn't want to go.
I know. I kept trying to tell you. I was like, Steve, I'm telling you now, you've got to try it. You're going to love it.
I was struggling health-wise with my stomach.
Yeah.
And I had that gastritis, and I thought, last thing I want. Middle of South Africa.
Fly all the way over there, far away.
But I tell you what.
That back your chat was mental, wasn't it?
Loved it. I was the hype man.
Yeah. You ran straight off the minibus, stood up there on the tables and just went for it. Started all the chants.
And I told them, I said, listen, we ain't going anywhere until you've all had a picture, you've all had an autograph, and you've all said what you wanted to say. And they respected that.
Yeah.
You know, because we're the men of the people, innit? Oh, you've got security. We didn't need security.
Yeah.
They love us.
Yeah.
They ain't killing us. They love us. Do you know what I mean?
I was more worried about crowd control and the cameras getting knocked, because I was like, I need security for the cameras. I was like, yo, them cameras are expensive, guys. I know you're excited, but I need to get these cameras back to London in one piece, because I cannot be replacing these.
They loved it, man. And like you say, the energy. And then obviously I tore my calf. Not many people seen it.
Yeah.
I tore my calf muscle right down the centre, jumping in the lake last couple of days. And man, the flight home was grim for me.
Yeah.
But I got there. But no, I enjoyed it. And like you say, we're back on the Big Six. And I've done loads. I've done, you know.
You worked with the club.
The club.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that's a dream.
Yeah.
Come true.
Pitch side
at Old Trafford. Just won the game. I'm on the pitch with Edison.
Yeah.
I'm getting security taking me off.
The players know you.
City TV shouting at me and that, what you doing, Steve?
Yeah.
I've got the relationship with certain players and stuff. And like...
I remember there was a time you was telling me that, like, you couldn't say certain things because City TV obviously were like, no, you got to say it like this, say it like that. And I've seen like there's been moments in the Big Six where I get it, like you're an older guy, you're used to being able to speak just freely, and now suddenly social media in this day and age, everything's much more like rigid and much more constrained.
I struggled with that.
I want to ask you,
I
like,
struggled with that.
How did you struggle? Because I know now you're like you understand more like where you can and can't go, but like how did you struggle with that when you were first getting into it before with socials?
Because I'm not media trained.
Yeah,
I'm a guy that's grown up around old school people, and my humour is very dry and very witty, and probably a lot of the younger audience on the Big Six and stuff don't get my humour. But you'll see the odd like older guy go, "Well, Big Steve was quick there with that."
Yeah,
I just struggled a little bit because that was another reason why I left, because I felt like I couldn't say what I wanted to say.
Yeah,
you know, we went through a time where the world went mad. COVID, we had all that stuff going on.
Yeah.
And I think everyone was looking for an angle to kill you.
Yeah.
So, you know, I remember one show where we spoke about Pogba, and my opinion of Pogba has always been the same. I think he's a world-class player, but his time at Manchester United, for me, he was very underwhelming.
Yeah.
And then the comments going mad about it, like, oh yeah, we know why Big Steve don't like Pogba. Was trying to turn it into like a racial sort of thing.
It was a character assassination almost.
And then I felt then that I couldn't say anything, and then that's not me.
You went into your show.
Yeah, and I'm sat on the show not giving 100%.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking, right, I'm not speaking about that.
Yeah.
I'm not speaking about that, which shouldn't be allowed. And I feel like sometimes I'm an easy target for people.
Yeah.
It's an easy target to me. Obviously, in the early days, you know, I
remember me and you talking about like you're the only white person on the show. You're bald. Like it feels like stereotypically people are targeting you for what they perceive you to be when you're making.
They're calling me EDL Steve.
Yeah, and that I remember how much that affected you. And you're saying like your kids are going to school and like
people are saying, why are they calling your dad EDL Steve? And you know what though? You know, I've got so many. I've got so many friends that were like, what's going on here? And like, you know, I'll do a thing on my podcast and tell them about it. And I'm like, no, because I don't want that. You don't need to justify it to me.
Yeah.
Because, you know, we know where we are with everything. But I feel that's just the way of the world. I feel like they're not used to someone like me, you know, fucking bald, used to be a drinker, like coming out with a load of shit. It's not, you know, not used to it. It's not the thing. But at the end of the day, I got over that in the end, because, you know, everyone always backs me and stuff like that. And, you know, but so it does frustrate you when you say something, it meaning it in the mind, and we know why
twisted.
you've said that. And I'm like, oh my God. But it's only a minority.
Yeah.
You know,
exactly.
it's only a minority of it. But the love will always shine through on it. But yeah, I did struggle with it. I wanted to be able to give my opinion on everything and just be free and talk about it. If you don't like my opinion, no problem with it. Yeah, we'll talk about it. But don't try and turn it into something it's not, because you're losing. So you think this is an easy way out here. We'll just throw this at him and stuff. But it's the way of the world and that. And like you say, it's I've got nothing I need to prove to anyone. I'm just me, you know?
Yeah. I remember after you saying, earlier you saying you don't know what's next. You don't know what's next for you. In terms of this sphere, because you've taken to it like a duck to water, in my opinion, like TikTok. You've tried, you know, you've tried to do content. You're doing content. You're doing Instagram. Like you're really embracing the new situation that you're in, which is you're very well followed and you're making content and you're doing your match reactions. Like you're really embracing it. Do you know what I mean? A lot of people would be like, I'm not doing that. That's not for me. It's past my generation. But like you're not. You're the complete opposite. You're in it.
Yeah, I mean, and people think, oh, he's doing it for likes and clicks. You know me. I don't give a shit about any of that. I don't give a shit about it. I don't know how many followers I've got. If you ask me now how many followers I've got, I wouldn't be able to tell you. I do one video a week on my channel.
Yeah.
TikTok, the reason I do it is because I get so many people, especially the foreign fans, who say, I really like to listen to you coming out the ground, Steve, to see how the feeling is amongst the fans. Or I really like to watch your stories on Instagram of the build-up and stuff like that. I'll never film anything while the game's going on because I'm watching a match.
Yeah.
But I'll film the build-up, let them get into it and stuff. And like you say, I'm finding now there's a lot of younger City fans coming through. I'm even getting called out now. I'm a happy clapper main road fan that will never criticise the team.
Well, you was on the box.
Yes.
And then you went to Norway. And you had an alleged altercation.
Yes,
but you caught firsthand what it's like when you don't go to games.
Yeah,
because you went to the box and you missed one game,
I know.
and suddenly now you're a fake City supporter. You don't go to games. You don't love the team. You're in it for the money. You're in it for the fame.
Yeah, exactly.
What was that like?
And you've seen how much I turned down.
Yeah.
I get offered daft money to do daft things. Yeah, it's not about the money with me. It's not about it. But the box thing, I'd watched the Arsenal one, and I thought, wow, that must be hard. That I couldn't do that. You know, that's all I did. I didn't say, oh, Gary Lineker's a fake fan because he went in the box. I just thought that way of watching football is a weird way of thinking. It must be hard.
Yeah.
So my son said to me, there's no way you could do that, Dad. I was like, what do you mean? No way I could do that. And bear in mind, my son's 17 now, he's a man. So we're having man banter. And I'm like, what do you mean I couldn't do that? And he's like, no way you'd handle that. 3 United fans who can't watch the game. I was like, yeah, whatever. Anyway, the email came through, would you be interested in the box? And I said to my son, look, I've been offered the box. Are you doing it, Dad? I went, no, I'm not doing it for that money. Shite money. And more, listen, Old Trafford have been many a times. The derby game to me, you know, so what? It's a derby. Been loads of times, you know. If my son would have said to me, Dad, can I go to the derby on your tickets? I'd have give him the ticket and watched it at home. You know what I mean? That's the level I'm at now, you know? Anyway, Mike McIntyre rang me up and he said, basically, name your price. What would you do it for? I gave him a price, a very good price, thinking he ain't going to pay that.
Yeah.
They paid it. So I went, okay. So I gave him a ticket away to my friend's son. So he had it. And I went down. I got there. I walked in the box. First person to see, KG. Fucking hell. I'm like, I should have took some Anadin. Yeah, I knew my headache was going to come. Half time, they let you nip out to the toilet and they bring you a drink and whatever. But it was minging. It was minging. So my son was right. So I'm looking down the lens. He was right. He's not right all the time because I'm his dad. But he was right. I can't handle it. And when it come at the end and Roy Keane come on the screen and he went, well, just to let you know that the score in the Manchester derby was 2-0 to Manchester United. Oh, fuck.
Sickening.
Yeah, so anyway, part of my deal was I need to watch the highlights after the game.
Yeah.
I need to see it. I was so happy when I came out of them highlights. Should have been 5. And I'm thinking, hold on a minute. The worst game of the season, we've been pumped at Old Trafford and I've been paid not to watch it. And I'm going to Bozo Gimps in the morning.
Yeah.
Result. So I jumped in the car and my phone's going mad and all that. And anyway, I got a backlash of it.
Yeah.
And I get the feeling that there's a lot of jealous people out there who were just waiting for me to do something. But I could have done something wilder more than that many times, but I didn't. And at the end of the day, I did a podcast about it and I said, listen, nobody's going to tell me how I can support my football team. I do not need to show any loyalty to no one. I go week in, week out, right? If I had turned around and said, can't go to the derby at weekend, I'm working, nobody blinks an eyelid.
Yeah.
It's the fact that you've gone on something,
Yeah.
you've lost, so they're all angry,
Yeah.
and you've been paid for it.
Yeah.
But what I did with the money, I bought an executive box at Man City Newcastle Carabao Cup and I took 10 of my pals in the box, free beer, free food. So I gave that money back to the club.
You've invested in the transfer budget for the next season.
Go. So the next signing, 2 bag of that got slung in the kitty off me. So, you know, it is what it is. So, but people, this is another thing. A few years ago, I'd have took that to heart. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
And you know what? I was walking around Bodo Glimt and loads of the old school fans, the ones that matter, the ones that were proper fans, they're the ones that came up to me and went, nobody can question you, mate. You do what you do. You're out there defending Man City. You do what you do. And that'll do me.
Yeah.
I'm not asked what the plastics say. I'm not asked what they say. They can say what they want. You know, I'm getting it at the minute. Big Steve won't ever criticise our players. He's a happy clapper from Main Road. And I said, yeah, I am. But if it wasn't for us happy clappers, you wouldn't even have a team now. Because we were the ones that backed the club when it was on its arse, went week in and week out. This shower now that you see on X wouldn't last 5 minutes. They would not last 5 minutes. When that big monster from Middlesbrough came through that door at the Sherwood, he's never going to a game again. I thought it was hilarious and went back the next week after. That's how we're built different.
And that is a perfect circle from the stories of earlier all the way back to the present day.
But
you've been there for it all. You've seen it all.
I have.
Literally.
And the treble season.
Yeah.
And you want to probably talk about that. That season was a mad season. It was the best season I've ever had.
That's pinnacle for you, like matching Man United's treble and just being there, living through it.
We signed Erling Haaland in the summer, and a lot of City fans were excited by it, thinking, right, this might be the time. You know what I mean? But there was a real connection on and off the pitch that season that I'd never felt before. Every away game, we had the same group of lads, the same group of girls all together. The songs, you hear me calling out your name, we'll follow you everywhere. It was a mad song that come out of nowhere. It's Fleetwood Mac.
Yeah.
And like you say, and that's when I knew something was happening that season. Things was going. And it was a rough ride. A couple of mad games here and there. We'd done United 6-3. We'd been beat a couple of times, and we beat Arsenal at the Emirates. And that's when the comment came out, the shark thing. So obviously I'd gone to the Emirates with Premsy.
Yeah.
And I said, I've got to do AFTV. They've asked me to do it. I went round. I was on my own, by the way.
Yeah.
It was mental. And I was thinking in my head, right, be cool, be calm.
You've got a love-hate relationship with the Arsenal fans.
Yeah, I have. Listen, I respected them on the Big Six. They turned on me, But and I ain't taking that line down.
Yeah,
so if they want to go down that road, we'll go down that road. If you see me on Curtis Shaw channel or you see me on the Loose Cannons podcast, you'll see me talking about Arsenal, how they talk to me respectfully, and we have a conversation. Yeah. If you're on the Big Six, you got to get your armour up. Because they're still looking for a weakness. And I thought, right, I've got to say something that's going to just, I don't know, be a little bit cheeky or something. And I'm thinking about it in the head, and Robbie's asking me questions, and he says, how does it go from here? And I just said, there's blood in the water, there's a big blue shark behind you, and I walked off cool as anything. and that comment has hurt a lot of people. That shark is in a lot of people's heads, you know what I mean? And I'm here for it. And listen, I know that if Arsenal go on and win the league, they're coming for me.
Yeah.
But I respect it, because I didn't really come for them. You know what? We won it. I give a few people shit, and then I left it at that. But it's non-stop. So I know I'm going to get it and that. But I think deep down they respect it, thinking, you know what, Steve does our heading, but really we want to be like Steve. We want to go to the games, we want to defend our club and stuff. Yeah. And that treble season, after saying that comment, like you say, we went to Forest the week after. I remember coming out of there, we drew 1-1, and I was thinking, something not right. It was very weird. Something not right. I'm thinking, and then all of a sudden it just kicked into gear. And we had the FA Cup final, Man United at Wembley, to win the FA Cup and the European Cup final the week after. Yeah,
so you're trying to do the double right now.
And I'm thinking, United.
Yeah.
I'm thinking every time we do something, they do something better or something. And I'm thinking they've got the chance to sit there and say, we beat you in the FA Cup final, you're never going to win the treble.
Yeah.
So I remember getting to the Green Man pub outside Wembley. I was shitting myself. And I'd had banter all week with Saeed and United fans and all that. And then we got in the ground and Gundogan scored after 12 seconds. It was like taking a magic pill. It was so good. And I thought, yeah, we're having it. And we won it. And I didn't even have time to process it, because all my head was thinking then was Champions League.
Next week, yeah.
But when I got out to Istanbul, and the night before, we're in the Navadad street, it was mental. There was people hanging out of roofs, gutters, sewers, people ballooning. It was mad. Mental night, one of the best nights I've ever had in my life. That's when Haaland sent me that message. Do you know why I came to this club, Steve? For this. And he sent me a Champions League gif, and it was the Champions League spinning. And I was like, fuck, it's happening.
Yeah.
And I in Porto, when I went to Porto, I never felt like we were ready for that game. It was COVID time. You had to get COVID tests. There was half the crowd wasn't there. It just didn't feel right. And like you say, we got beat, a bit of a whimper. But I felt different this time. I felt like we were ready. I felt like no one was going to stop us, you know. It felt like the army was at the gates and we were ready to march.
Yeah.
You know, the next day I had to work for City TV in the fan zone. And I might come across confident, but sometimes I'm not confident.
You were nervous.
You know, I was so nervous because I thought if I go on stage here, they might be like, what's he doing on stage, you dick? You know what I mean? Because that's how you think. I'm just a fan, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you've almost been put on this pedestal.
Sometimes
that you're
I get
not
embarrassed by it a little bit.
Imposter syndrome.
Because I'm just a fan.
Yeah.
You know? And I went on there, and when I walked out on the stage, it was like fucking Glastonbury. All I could see from as far as the eye could see was blue and white everywhere.
Yeah.
And the crowd went mad. They were like, yeah. And I thought, fucking hell.
This is
They're
sick.
having it. And then they said, can you send a message back to Manchester? Man City had rented out the warehouse project, filled it with City fans. And I got the mic, and I don't know what I said. I'm pretty good at doing mad little monologues off the cuff, yeah?
Yeah.
It was, but my mate was there, and he said, Steve, it was like Braveheart. He said the way you was going on about, like, we're all in Istanbul, but you're all with us in Manchester. The spirit of Manchester, we're with us. Tonight, we're going to bring back the European Cup. And he said the whole Mayfield depot in Manchester went mental. Beers were getting slung and that. He said it was the perfect speech, like. And then it was time to go in the ground, and like you say, and then the rest was history. We won it, and it was fantastic. It was emotional. I got to watch the game with a lot of pals and a lot of friends that had been on this journey for years with me.
All the way from Oldham.
All the way from them days and beyond. My uncle, who he took us when we were kids, never asked for a penny, never moaned. All the kids were fucking about in his van all the time. And he drove us all around the country. Yeah, he was there with me. I got him a ticket. And I looked down, and he was having a bit of a cry. I was having a bit of a whinge. And yeah, it was full circle moment. There's a clip that somebody filmed of me singing Blue. We Are the Champions. And I was just so, like, happy, but, like, it felt it'd gone full circle.
Yeah, it has.
It felt like I've done it. I've had that. I've had to deal with the United fans telling me you never win the treble. And that's when I came home, back to the hotel. That's when I did that TikTok saying, when I was growing up in Manchester, Man United fans always had a list. You've got to win the Premier League. Well, it started off, you got to win a trophy.
Yeah.
So we won the FA Cup. You'll never win the Premier League. We won the Premier League and snatched it from them. You'll never win the double. We won the double. You won't win it back to back. We won it back to back. Yeah, but you'll never win the European Cup. We won the European Cup. You won't win 3 in a row. We won 4 in a row. You'll never win the treble like Phil and Gary Neville. We won the treble and more, you know what I mean? And then I said, we've done your list now.
Now you do ours.
You do ours. Fucking hell, that wound up to death. Who's he think he is? But they got to understand.
Giving us lists.
Yeah, they got to understand and respect the fact that I've dealt with your bullshit and what we need to do for years. You have a bit of my bullshit now. You might not like it, but you're going to have to respect it. You know what I mean? And that one was for the City fans, you know what I mean? And that's what it was. And like you said, we've gone on and won 4 in a row since then. And everything that's gone on at the football club has been mental. Absolutely mental. And having the opportunity to work for City was special for me. And coming back from the Istanbul, I landed in London, and the day of parade, the parade was on. A big thunderstorm. They delayed it and delayed it and delayed it. I'm trying to get back. I got back 15 minutes before the end of the parade. And I'd been invited to a staff party because I've been doing a little bit with City TV.
Yeah.
I went in the staff party and I'm having a walk around, and I felt out of place. I
You
felt
was
like people were looking at me like, what's he doing here? You know what I mean? And I wasn't getting a good vibe off it. And then the kit man, Brandon, who's left now, he messaged me, where are you? I was like, I'm in the staff party. Where are you? He went, we're in the players' party. You need to come in here. I was like, I don't, we'll come and get you. Anyway, they came through. They brought me into the players' party. Big Earl, straight away. Treble medals on. Steve, grabbed hold of me and that. I'm like, wow, this is fucking insane.
Yeah.
And then I'm
Out-of-body experience.
I'm with Ruben Diaz and with De Bruyne. I've got Gundogan saying, hello, Steve. I had Rico Lewis come for a picture, Oscar Bob. Pep's sat there eating chips. Grealish is steaming. You know, Walker's steaming. Edison's bladdered. And I'm in there. And the security guy kept coming over going, excuse me, have you got a band on? And I'm like, yeah, I've got a gold one. Look at that. European Cup's getting passed about. Best time of my life. You know what I mean? I'm from a fan of me, he doesn't get any better than that. You know what I mean? And then people knowing your name and stuff like that. And like, I've not done anything. People go, he thinks he's part of the team. I'm like, Why? Because I go every game, and you know, I'm part of the journey. I'm supporting my team week in and week out. I'm investing my time, my money, my energy. I'm sacrificing birthday parties and fucking taking kids dancing and going to things to watch Manchester City Football Club. So, you know, anyone that says that, I think is a little bit jealous.
Because really, you've had the perfect football story in terms of you've been in the trenches in Division 2, so you've understood what it's like to be down there and to go to the different towns across the country and to be like part of this almost cult, terrace cult, right? You're on the cult, and then you go up through the divisions and you treasure it more, you appreciate it more, because when you get to the top, you get to the pinnacle, you've gone through hell to get there. So it's not something that you were born with or that you walked into and that you were already the best or you were already up there. Like you've already you've gone through everything that you have to get through to get to that point. So it feels even better, I'm assuming.
I think that the worse the Manchester City got, the better we got as fans, because I've said it on many a podcast and people are sick of it. I always say I judge a fan base when the club's on the bones of its arse. You know, people, it's easy to leave that football club when you're doing shit.
This is what you're trying to say to Tobes.
You know, this is what I'm trying to say. But it takes a fan to turn around and say, the other night on the Big Six, if he'd have come out and said, you know what, I fucking love Tottenham, me. And if they get relegated, I'll be the first one in the queue for a season ticket and I'll be there first game of the season cheering the boys on. Imagine how much respect he would have got for that.
Yeah, it would have been good.
You know?
Even from a PR standpoint, it would have been good.
But people don't want to wear it, you know? And at the end of the day, there's no shame in it because... And with us, we just thought, you know what? And we loved that. The team of that era, 98, 99, were probably the worst team in our history, but we love them the most. And like you say, we've taken all these crowds. That's like people say, oh, you're not no fan, Man City. And I just laugh, me. It's not even worth the effort of it because, like you say, when we needed to be there, we were there and we'll always be there. We've probably gained a load more fans now because we're successful. But if they don't like Pep Guardiola or they don't like Erling Haaland, then, you know, it's not going to happen. Imagine having like, you know, some of the players I could name, they won't even know. But this isn't a meltdown to me. Second in the Premier League. Is it disappointing? Yes. Do you want to win the Prem? 100%. But take a step back to see where we are, you know what I mean? And the old school guys, they won't melt down. I don't melt down. They can call me a happy clapper. I think that's a badge of honour. I'm quite happy with it. I might even get a T-shirt made saying happy clapper or main road, miserable main road bastard or something on it. But I don't care about that. You know what I mean? I'm happy with it. And like you say, that's a part of the football journey which, you know, we went to. I said on the Lad Bible at the time, if we'd have won one FA Cup before I died, I would have been happy with that. Yeah. And like you say, Saudi Arabia was one of the pinnacle of what to win the World Cup in Saudi Arabia was fantastic and stuff. So it has been a good football journey and it has gone full circle and stuff. And like you say, it's it just takes something different to go to watch. There was better things in my life I could have been doing on a Saturday than going watching that shit. Shopping, you know what I mean? Going to the park, having a bath, washing whatever I had left on my hair. You know, all them things were better than watching that shit. Yeah, but the thing is, and do you know the thing is, right? The amount of coaches I'd got on after the game where City got beat, and you'd sit next to someone and it'd be a bit quiet, and then someone would go, "Fucking shit, these aren't they?" And I go, "Yeah." They go, "I'm not sick of it, me. You?" I go, "Yeah, I'm sick of it." And they go, "I'm not going, me, next week." And I go, "Nah." They go, "Nah, I'm going. That's it. Last game now. I've had enough." I go, "All right." You'd have an hour home, and then they pull up and they get up and they go, "I'll see you next week." I go, "Yeah, see you later." It's all bollocks because we love them. You know what I mean? You love them through thick and thin. It doesn't matter. You know, you forgive them in an hour. In 1 hour ago, it's the worst team ever. I'm never going again, and I hate this football club. 1 hour later, see you next week, mate. Because you've signed the contract. You're in with it now. Yeah, and you get the hand that you dealt with, and like you say. And that's why people say to me, "Oh, these 1-1 charges and that. You know, you might get relegated. Bring it on. Bring it on." You know what I mean? Let's go back there and have one more dance. I'm ready for it. But I'll be sober this time and I'll remember it more. You know what I mean? So I'm happy with that. I said on the podcast I done the other day, Batman, when he goes in his bat cave, he's got a button on the wall, he presses it. It turns round, there's a bat suit. I press it in mine, it turns round, there's a Kappa tracksuit and an inflatable banana. And I'm ready to go again.
You're ready to go?
Yeah, I'm ready to go again, man. And like you say, it is what it is. But no, it's been good. It's been good. And like on this podcast, I've opened up a lot more. nobody knows my past. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't want people to think he thinks he's some hard case because I'm not.
Yeah. You haven't demonstrated that. Like
I was
with
a
what you've
young
said.
lad,
Yeah.
working class family who went to football and got involved with a group of lads from all over the country. We felt like brothers. We got into scrimps and scrapes, and I was lucky enough to get out of it with some good memories, and now I can take a step back and I can enjoy football for what it is, and hopefully people watching this can relate to it. I mean, I'll just touch on it briefly. Last year, we had like 4 of our friends die.
Really?
Yeah. So suicide.
The close-knit friends
So suicide. One of our friends singing on the karaoke, 7, 8 o'clock at night, goes home, domestic in the house, grabs a load of beers, tablets, disappears. He's done it before on Facebook. Anyone seen Chris? We're thinking he's gone to someone's house, get his nut down. Yeah. Next day, still not found him. I thought, getting about dinner time, he's waking up. You know what I mean? He's going to message someone. Yeah. Oh, I've got a sore head.
Yeah.
No, everyone's out walking, looking for him. They walk across the park. They find him hung in the trees.
Fucking hell.
So we're like, wow. Devastating. A lot of young lads who knew him were like, wow, that is mental. And I'm thinking, man, but he's up and down, drink, drugs, depression, you know. And it's like, it's real life, you know.
Yeah.
But you think to yourself, just reach out. Everyone loved him. You know what I mean? You don't feel like you loved, and then you see afterwards how much you loved, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
To do something like that, he left his son. You know, his son, we see him at the match now, God, you know, feel so sorry for him and stuff. And it's real life stuff that you go through. That was a hard one to take.
Yeah.
And then I had a couple of young lads, every away game, they like the drink, they like the drugs. Yap, 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 yap. Like Bert and Ernie from Sesame Street. So every game, yap, 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 yap. They used to say to me, fucking hell, Steve, how did you put up with us last night? I bet we were yapping your head off. Top lads, though.
Yeah.
Young lads, love Manchester City, but dark side of it. Anyway, up and down, got young families, young birds. And then we won the treble together. We went all that season, won the treble together. And then after the season finished, one of the lads rang me up and he said, Wilkie's died. I was like, what? When he's died, he's been off his head on whatever he's been on. He's had a heart attack, 24, psychosis, whatever you want to go. And I'm like, broke my heart, like proper broke my heart. And I'm thinking of him, I'm thinking he's not that lot older than my son.
Yeah.
But one of my last conversations was, he was like, I need to sack it with this gear and that, and I need to stop drinking and get my life back together.
He said that to you?
Yeah, he said that to me. And I was like, we've won the treble. You've got everything going for you, you know what I mean? And you think, right, okay, he might do it. And then I'm going to funerals and I'm watching 23, 24-year-old men being carried past me in a coffin.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is not on.
No.
And then I was a big advocate to reach out to the club about mental health charities and saying, look, it's not the club's fault, but football, it goes in hand with drinking and drugs. Some lads use it as an escape, you know, and we need to sort it. And the City have been very good with that. You know, they've got into Andy's Man Club, etc. and that. But it had a devastating effect on a lot of young lads, you know what I mean, around and I found that there was a big culture of that at Manchester City, that treble season. I think a lot of lads were getting on the gear and that, and it was terrible. And out of the dark has come the light. There's now a new mental health charity called Cleaner and Drier, which has been made in memory of my mate that hung himself. And they have a Friday night session where all lads who are struggling, it's free. You can come down, you do a bit of boxing. It's like a brothers in arms thing. And I went down there one night, show a bit of support, and I tell you what, wow, some of the stories of these men.
Yeah.
Brave people going through it, man. And you know what? It's because men don't speak.
No.
You know, and
it
that's
takes
why
stuff like that to actually get them to
you've
open
got
up.
to speak.
Yeah.
I say that you're not a weak man because you won't speak. You've got to speak. If you keep it on your chest and keep things in your brain, your mental health will suffer. You've got to speak. We're all men at the end of the day, and we've got to, you know, if you're going through it, talk to someone, because I can guarantee you, when you see the grief after it, when someone's done something or someone's passed away young like that, they're so loved, and they in their head they're not loved.
Yeah.
They're just trapped in a thing. So that's the darker side of the football that we went through. It affected me a bit for a while. I felt like every other month I'm putting a post on about someone that died. And I thought, this is not the way. And like you say, I'm urging all people to, we've done it on the Big Six, we've done a few mental health things, haven't we? And talked about it and stuff and stuff like that. But that really affected me a bit. And the Wilkie's dad, when he died, he come up to me at the funeral and he was like, I really enjoy watching your stuff, Steve. And I watch it and I miss him and all that. It fucking broke my heart. But as long as there's people out there that enjoy watching my stuff, and people come up to me in the match and say, Steve, I really enjoyed what you did the other day, I'll keep doing it. The day people are saying, you get Big Steve out of our club, you know, AFTV style, we want Big Steve out of our club, then I'm fucking gone, mate. You know what I mean? That's me gone out the way. But until that day, I'll keep doing what I'm doing. And but yeah, I'm a big advocate for it. I always say to the lads, you can always reach out. I'll always help anyone in need, anyone I can, and I'll always try and you know, keep fighting for that mental health thing and make sure the lads are all right. But it's a tough world out there at the minute, and you just never know the minute, you know.
Well, my last question is usually, how do you want to be remembered? But I'm guessing you've just answered it. Really, you want to be remembered as someone that kind of helps people and gives advice in your own experiences and struggles and ups and downs. You can take those lessons and give them to people before it's too late, almost, type of thing.
Yeah, I want to be remembered as just being real. You know what I mean? I'm a Man City fan. I love my football club. I back them to the hilt. I'm also a human being and a father and a businessman and a family man. And I'm far from perfect. I've made so many mistakes in my life and I've done so many stupid things in my life that I'm not proud of and got involved in some right shit. But it shaped me up to be the person I am. And I feel like I've been very lucky, whereas every time I've needed a little warning,
you've got one.
I've had one.
Yeah.
And my only advice to people out there, if you ever do something and you think, wow, I was lucky there, you was lucky for a reason. So that's your warning. So that's one thing I've learned in life. If anything's not quite going right and I get a little bit of a taster and I think, phew, that could have been bad, it probably was going to be bad. So I tried to steer away from it. But I tried to be open. I tried to be honest. And like you say, I just want to be remembered as being Big Steve or slightly medium Steve. Now I've lost a bit of timber. And he always did right for Man City and right for himself.
There you are. There's no better place to leave it, people. Whether you know him as Big Steve, Stephen, Lummy.
Yeah, Lumme.
You know what I'm saying? The message is still the same. So take it in and hear it. Listen if you need to. It's been a serious story. Till next time. Come on.